Door scenario playthrough. Right now we've got 3 players. 2 of them have already selected characters.
Top Publix.
Um, the third player is considering characters right now. This is the scenario that's going to be included in the Divine Blood Demon Next Door campaign book, which is focusing around civilians who happen to be either supernatural or connected to the supernatural. The included scenario is mostly normal people with, I believe, 7 characters have actual supernatural traits out of 24, because the included scenario is meant for representing people that are just getting introduced to the supernatural. Granted, what we have as characters are the half-demon and the girl, and the Islamic goth girl who thinks she knows everything about the occult but really doesn't. And we haven't picked the third character yet.
I confess.
Excuse me.
Yeah. At this point, we have 3 characters, so adults are on the table. At least one. One is.
I vote
Because
picking
of
a
your
reporter.
buns.
You know what? I think just all the characters in the link you gave us are available to choose.
That is correct.
Except for Dima and Clint, because they've already been chosen.
Fair enough. Alexei Kanst
Oh, the...
seems interesting.
Okay. The nerd... Here he is. Okay. Robotics Geek. Okay. If you click the link there, it will give you his stats.
What I
already.
missed.
Everything. Twice.
You've lost the world.
No!
We've played the whole scenario 2 times already by the time you were doing something else.
Okay. Now, what's going on here is you are all at the same high school. I kind of never set up exactly what country or state or whatever the high school's in, but my familiarity...
Let's put it in Maine.
Yeah. My familiarity with high schools is mostly American, Texas high schools, and then Japanese middle schools. So when I design characters for high school and such, it's kind of up in the air.
A crapshoot.
Yeah, I teach at a Japanese middle school and Japanese elementary schools. I went to school in Texas and Utah, so those are what I think of for high school. I have read Harry Potter, but
It's school systems are kind of crazy depending on where you go. It's very crazy depending on where you go. So generally, it's somewhere between 3 and
40.
what was yours? Well, no. There's an even longer one. I think it was like 6 years for like 2 supplementary years prior to college.
Yeah. Okay, but we are broadcasting now, so let's get on to the scenario.
Understood.
You're picking Alexei Kanst. You're picking Clint.
Mhm.
You're picking Dima. At this point, you're for the ease of the scenario, you're considered to have been friends for a long time for some reason or another. I'm assuming that Clint has never disabused Dima of her notions about what she knows about the occult, and has probably just rolled her eyes at her and whenever she. Because
Clint.
at this point, Dima and Alexia are assumed not to know much about the supernatural. Is that okay?
That's perfectly okay.
That's fair.
Sure.
I'm a robotics geek. I'm not likely to be touching the occult.
Yeah. And normally this sort of railroading is not done in a campaign, but this was designed for convention play and as a sample scenario.
So yeah, you got a railroad to just get things started.
Right.
Exactly.
Okay. Make sure.
Choo-choo.
So now today's at the school. You're having a fundraising fair, trying to raise money for the different clubs, the different classes, different sporting groups, whatever. Your group is trying to raise funds for whatever club you have, whether it's role playing, the robotics club, or whatever. I know Alexi's goal in life is to design uprights, which are mecha. Yes, they exist.
So yes, in this world, giant robots are perfectly realistic.
And available to students.
No, they're not available to students. Maybe some are, but those would mostly would be construction types, and you use them on a job. Civilian ones are construction mostly, and they get to about 15, 17 feet tall. But yeah.
Hooray! I'm a robotics geek. Hooray!
Yes,
Finally.
in a universe where robotics geek is more custom robo, probably.
Right. They don't have Iron Man style power armor yet. That is actually going to be introduced in the fiction eventually, but it's a plot point, so it doesn't exist yet. If you're doing your own Divine Blood, you can change that. I'm operating on my canon.
It's
okay.
fair.
Anyway, so what kind of booth do you want to build?
Shall we talk about this in character?
Yes, go ahead. Assume this is the couple of days before the event, and I'm going to text chat to Micah, see if he wants to choose a character while you're doing that.
Okay. So I'll do my character's introduction first. Ina, as always, has decided to make an entrance. In this case, wearing an all-black outfit with the latest trimming she can get, she walks to the collection of desks and does fingers. Greetings, mortals. I have decided the perfect booth. We shall have a booth showing my latest plan. I shall become a djinn, free and immortal, capable of granting any wish we desire. And with this power, I will grant us the most popular... Wait, I actually don't know what we'd wish for once I actually got the power to grant wishes. That would be problematic. So no ideas for what to do once I become immortal and all-powerful.
Right. Now, I do have some...
I know. I will make a sequel to Xenogears.
Wow.
She's going to be out of it for the next 3 minutes.
You mind if I go ahead and get started on mine now?
Go ahead, yeah.
Alright. So Alexi is rocking spandex, just a plain t-shirt and worker's gloves and goggles. He's tinkering with a piece of mechanics and unfortunately wasn't really paying attention to his fellow classmate. He probably needs to be jarred to pay attention now.
Yeah. Well, no, that's one of her aspects, and if it were me doing it to her, I'd give her a fate point.
Well, Clint, after hearing the monologue of Dima, just has his hand flat on his face and just shakes his head in disapproval. You know, I had a way simpler idea. We just set up a box ring here, and I show the kids some nice moves. We set up some very, very big pot, and maybe they'll throw in some coins. It's the most easiest and most efficient way.
You do have fighting skills.
What efficiency? What? What are we talking about now?
We could build a small robot to punch him in the face.
And in the background is what's his name? Mr. Brandon, who's sort of the slacker track coach. He says, "You guys need to be coming up with what sort of booth you're going to be running. I don't think a boxing ring is going to get past the application stage. What? The shooting gallery, goldfish scooping, dunking booth, whatever.
Rock'em Sock'em Robots revamped?
How do you guys think?
We make the robot mimic what he does? Points to Clint.
I still think we should do the box ring if you ask me.
You mean have out of character as GM? You mean you want to engineer it so that you have a stand-up robot that will mod what somebody does in another area.
But
Well,
That's
it's actually
possible, but that wouldn't be a very efficient. Probably just simple.
Well-
Keep it simple. Game controller, mod it.
no. I've actually got it. See, here's what we do. The robots are controlled by a pair of gloves.
Okay.
Clint has one of the gloves, one pair of the gloves. The person doing the person who comes to the booth has the other pair of gloves. Yes?
Okay.
I have to say one thing. Power glove.
the only power you need
That
is
is
the
so
power you
bad.
should build up in your own
I like
arm.
Out of character, I would say that level of technology is doable by a student with Alexi's stats.
So here's what we do. We get 4 power gloves. I can probably find one of my old ones. 2 of the robots are controlled by the power gloves. Maybe I can see if I don't know if I have an old Rob that we could use. One of the robots is controlled by the power gloves. One is controlled by the other person with the power glove girls. They see if they can beat Clint in a boxing match.
Ha!
And
And
what
they
do we
don't
do
even.
with what do
Meanwhile,
we do with the other 2 boxing power gloves? You said 4.
Yeah, I
2
need 2
gloves
as
to
well.
Clint, 2 gloves to the other person.
Oh, that reminds me of those little toys that I had when I was a kid. You know, those small boxing rings where you could punch each other with these plastic figures. That's a great idea. We do that.
Okay, so at this point, I am going to ask you guys to run what is called a challenge, right? Ask you to test um, 3 different abilities in order to build up your part of building the booth. You're going to have to build the robots. You're going to have to build the booth itself, and maybe do some advertising. Who wants to do? Who wants to do what?
All
Okay.
right.
Robots and all that sort of stuff is already my character, straight up.
Could I aid by bringing up my old... Since my character's a big-time gamer, they'd probably have... Like, we mentioned the power gloves straight off, so my character would likely have some old gear that couldn't be used to mod. I mean, the power glove would actually be a good idea since it already has controls built in, and I do believe didn't the power glove actually use finger movements to control it. So that'd give them a extra bonus to getting started. And hold on one second. This is my portable gaming rig gear aspect.
Yeah.
I can use a fate point to get a +2 to the roll to do it.
Yes. There's going to be 3 rolls for each of you. Who wants to go first?
Fate point. Hold on.
I didn't even set my idea.
I'm still not quite certain about the stats and all that.
Okay, sorry about that. We had that discussion before I started the broadcast. My apologies.
Uh-huh.
You have a set of stats. The stats list, when you make a die roll, it'll be somewhere between -4 and +4. Your stats will add to that roll. You try to beat the difficulty. The average difficulty is going to be about 3. That's an average difficulty. For something on this level, I might say 4 or 5. But if you notice, Alexi's craft is 4. He's got bonuses to robotics and bonuses to crafting. So he ends up with like a +8. So fate points, if you look down at the bottom of your sheet, it says refresh. That's how many fate points you start with. You spend fate points to use your aspects to either get a +2, a reroll, or to add a narrative effect. And you gain fate points when I use your aspects to make something bad happen to you.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, that sounds a little familiar, like a Don't Rest Your Head, except a little bit more immediate.
Right. If you play the Dresden Files RPG or Fate Core, this is pretty much that system.
Luke.
Yes?
Is Don't Rest Your Head a Fate system game?
I've never actually played Don't Rest Your Head, so I wouldn't know.
Okay, then. Answers that question. But since we're doing rolls, can I do one to help gather the resources and make Alexi's stuff easier?
That's pretty much. You can go ahead and aid Alexi. I'll let you guys do maneuvers to aid. What you would do is you'd call it doing a maneuver. It creates a temporary aspect that somebody can use for free to get an extra bonus to the roll.
Okay.
All right, yeah,
Could I use it to take up one of the 3 rolls Alexi has to do?
I'm sorry. Repeat that again.
Can I? You say it takes 3. It'll be a total of 9 rolls, right?
Pretty much, because I want everybody to do a little bit of everything. Everybody to be involved.
Okay.
I'll probably.
So,
come on.
shall I do that to be roll 1 of the building the robots?
What we can do is we can set up your challenge as helping out Alexi's challenge. You're gathering the material.
That works.
And let me go ahead and look to see what I would pick for you. I'm going to go ahead and say resources, persuasion, and willpower. And I'm going to say it's going to be a difficulty 4. So you're going to need to get a roll of 4 or higher on the dice.
Okay. So for resources,
yes.
So the first roll, I'm going to invoke my gear aspect for 1 fate point.
Okay.
And that'll give me a +2. So I'll have a total of 4 before I roll.
Important note, you can spend fate points after the roll. So usually you want to wait until you see if your roll is successful before spending.
Oh, yeah, so that makes it even better in that case, because then you can physically actually alter the roll.
Apologies.
Yes. This game is set up, that Fate system is set up to have ultra competent characters, and it's generally geared towards doing dashing, daring do. It lets you pretty much decide when and where you want your critical successes.
So it's higher than low-level D&D, but less awesome than, say, Omnobilis or Exalted.
Exalted is at an extreme power level that's really Fate. I know hasn't handled. I haven't seen Fate handle. I'm pretty sure that some of the Fate versions can handle that power level, but yeah. I generally prefer the Fate system to the Exalted system, but that's just me.
I purposely picked the 2 most ridiculously overpowered games that I could think of.
And I've heard a lot about Knuckles. I haven't actually played it yet. But anyway, right now you're at a 2. Let's see. Dima, where are you? If you use intimidation in your persuasion, you get a +2.
Hold on.
Because you're scary.
You're scary, so people give you stuff, so they're not being bothered for you anymore.
You also have Geek Speak, which gives you a +3 instead. So you can use your Geek Speak once per scene to add to the persuasion roll.
Okay, hold on 1 second. I actually completely forgot about the advantages.
Okay. This is
give me a sec to clackety clack.
Yeah.
Quick question.
Go ahead.
From +4 to -4, is that including a 0 or is it forgetting 0? So it's
that's including a 0. The most common result is a 0.
All right.
You roll four 6-sided dice. On each 6-sided dice, there's 2 minuses, 2 blanks, and 2 pluses. If you pull up, go to the left, there's something that says Fate Roller. It's a black square with a white F in it. Click it, and I'll roll an example. Roll it real quick.
Click the where now?
Go to the left of the Hangout screen. There's a black square with a white F.
Right.
Mind if I do my example roll right now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I will use Geek Speak to convince some of my other geeky friends to help.
Okay.
Because this is going to be awesome.
Yeah. We're in
and we'll
montage mode.
bring back Rock'em Sock'em Robots and possibly lead to Rock'em Sock'em Robots with uprights.
Uh-huh.
So much
Just
chaos.
Rock'em Sock'em Robots controlled by power gloves, and then we scale this up with uprights.
And now I'm thinking of Custom Robo again.
Thinking of what?
Custom Robo.
Yeah, pretty much. Custom Robo was what I was thinking of too. So that'll be I start with a +5.
So
Minus.
where's that white dice thing again? Is it on our Hangout screen?
Okay, go to the left where you see a pin at the top, chat, screen share. You have to put your mouse over it. Do you see it, Meso Joe?
Just a moment here. Give me a moment.
I'm a little unused to Hangout, so just.
No, don't worry. Everybody is not used to Hangouts.
Meso Joe, is your mouse in the far?
Okay. Am I sharing? I tried to hit screen share. There we go.
Okay.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Now, where my mouse is, right here.
Clicking it. All right,
Click the
found
F.
it.
We're going to have such trouble demonstrating my game because we're having such trouble with Google Plus.
That's actually another difficulty. We're playing this on very hard mode.
Yeah. Okay. So Mitchell Anderson, you got a +3. Now, Mitch, that'd be Dima. Dima got a +3, which means her friends are a little bit interested, but not quite.
And I
just a moment.
Will donate. I will spend a fate point to get +2 using portable gaming rig. And Dima's response is, and to this I will donate my Rob. And I hold up an original NES mint condition ROB.
Okay. Now, if you hadn't done that, you're now going up to a 5, which means you passed this one. If you hadn't done that, you could still succeed with costs, where I would make the end result of your challenge maybe a little bit less successful than it would have otherwise been. But the overall result of the challenge is weighted until I get to all 3 of your rolls.
Exactly.
Now, the next one is for, you're going to do resources or willpower. Either one. You can do them in either order you want.
Let's see. Resources first.
Okay.
I probably shouldn't have invoked that aspect.
Which aspect did you invoke?
I invoked the gear aspect, which was incorrect. It helps mainly with resources, right?
Right. Well, that marker is supposed to be that marker of resources on the specialties is implying is giving you an idea of what it means. It really isn't. If I had known you were doing that one, I thought you were doing the one that you have gamer friends.
No, I was using the gear aspect to talk to my gamer friends.
You should probably use the Video Gamers and Tabletop Gamers Unite aspect.
Yeah, I'll switch them instead of donating ROB.
Yeah.
I just point out some of the favors I've did for them.
Okay.
Such as getting a guy a copy of an RPG that wasn't actually in town.
Right, got it.
Or, my granting
That's
authentic
effect.
occult magic.
Fair enough. I'm just thinking about something I could do for like a for like later and after the robotics, like building the booth, like what I could do to help with that for. But
Yep.
back
Well,
back to the whole robotics thing. What should I do for my character?
well, let's.
This-
You can think. You could just imagine yourself building whatever robots. I know you're not a roboticist, so you wouldn't actually know. I'm not either. But just we're basically in montage mode right now. So just
Mhm.
imagine your character in montage. I still have to do 2 more rolls with Dima to see how her effort plays out,
Okay.
and then I can move on to you, and we can help you real quick.
And
I'm just usually I would do this. He does a roll, you do a roll, and then Sonia does a roll. But I want an example of one done first.
exactly. And in this case, since I don't have any advantages for resources yet,
Yeah.
I'll just have to use resources pure.
Yeah.
The whole deception, speak multiple languages, and geek speak won't help with this.
He's
So
mostly
let's just
social based. Yeah.
yes. Hope I get lucky.
So far so good, but that's a 2.
Yeah.
You are off by 2. Again, you can succeed with costs, or you can spend the fate point off of your resources, your portable gaming rig.
I will spend my own resources and donate a Rob.
Okay.
Because I just really like that idea besides.
Okay. I'm sort of so. If you guys are long-term friends, I'm sort of imagining Alexian created your portable gaming gig anyway.
Oh, of course. But
Probably.
this is less my portable gaming rig as I'd fluff it is older things that I used from previous rigs.
Right.
Like if you're a gamer, you'd have old PlayStation 2 controllers. So I figure she's geeky enough. I had a Rob for my old NES.
Yeah.
I bought it at con for $50.
Yeah. Okay.
And you'll
now,
be happy to have it gone.
Yeah.
These games.
Last roll on your challenge is going to be the willpower one to see this through.
Let's see. Could I convince someone else to help me by offering them an ancient Arabic blessing?
What?
The
I
blessing
guess.
is mana 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 mana.
I'm
But you
imagining.
don't tell them that before, right?
Oh, yes. I'm imagining the Babylon 5 quote.
Phenomena.
one?
Do.
Oh, the old Egyptian prayer. I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, but it's the episode with the explorer vessel, Sheridan and his old friend talking.
I actually do not remember this scene, but am tempted to buy the episode to see it. Actually, hold on. 5.
Yeah.
Old Egyptian blessing.
Yeah. Okay.
Distant star.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm just ruling that she'd get it wrong because she's a nincompoop.
Well, within her limited framework, she actually knows a lot. The problem is the basis what she's going off of is really well described nonsense.
Or to put it another way, she thinks she's in cyberpunk, but she's actually in urban fantasy.
Most of the actual supernaturals would call her a new ager.
That's fair.
Well, Clint would only call her a crazy girl.
Yeah.
So yeah, she pulls out authentic ancient Egyptian blessings, and that would give me let's see my sheet. No. Wait, I'd be convincing them that the blessing means something, so that would be geek speak.
But geek speak is once per scene.
Yes, but I haven't used it before in this scene.
You will have a cult at the end of this. I can see it.
A challenge takes place in one scene. Scene is a
So I can.
Yeah.
And since it is only once per scene, I can use it in this one scene.
And you used it on the earlier roll.
Which earlier roll?
The persuasion.
The first.
Darn it!
Oh yeah.
And
At least they have in the name of occultism.
yeah. Okay. Cool.
So that will be +4. Superb.
Good. You're
Right, so that rolling, is that you doing that, Tom?
Yeah. That
All right.
that is Mitchell doing it. So Dima. Yeah.
Oh.
Now,
Hold on.
if you look at the paintbrush, there's ways to set up so that each of us has a different color, so we can tell each other apart.
I already did. I picked a darker green.
Okay.
I think I actually accidentally rolled twice for that.
No, because the first one was your resources one.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah, but then there was a second one that I rolled as fair.
the first one was the persuasion. That was your geek.
Okay.
The second one was your resources. The third one was your willpower.
Okay.
And okay, I'm being a little bit loose in where I'm applying the advantages because I like a looser gameplay. The stats give me a good framework for what a character's capable of, and sometimes it's like, oh, this only applies to persuasion. Well, I could see it applying to this role as well because you're bringing it up. But yeah, okay. So the result of Dima's going through the gamer community and collecting resources for Lexi, you have lots of support from the gamers, tabletop gamers, and video gamers both. You have gamer support as an aspect with, I'm going to say, because you succeeded on all three, 1 free tag, which means you can use this for free without a fate point once. Oh, cads.
Wait, what?
Oh, I just saw the character that's being brought into play.
He's he's bringing in who now? Chico. Let's see, who is that?
Queen Bee.
Oh God, Nerth, and then all of a sudden Queen Bee.
Yeah. Okay. As soon as you're ready, Mika, I will as soon as you're ready, I will unmute you. And we'll probably get to when the other two are done. Oh, you're on.
One question.
Go on.
Can I prepare my Ringe laugh link?
I'm sorry? Runegate Laugh Link?
Ringe.
Oh.
Ringgate.
From Orin High School Club.
Ah.
He has an electric motor.
Got it. Okay.
What was that?
That was an attempt at Naga or Kodachi or Ieka or any of the other laugh chortlers from anime.
Oh yeah, that.
No, that's good.
No. She actually does do it in a robotic tone.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Exactly.
Anyway,
Reminds me of Buzzsaw.
which is really amusing when you watch an anime until you're living in Korea and you see people doing it in real life.
Also, does anyone hear buzzing?
Yeah, I think that's some feedback on Mike.
Yeah, probably. Might want to turn down mic sensitivity or something.
Yeah.
Yep, it was him.
Yeah, don't worry about it. There's lots of issues with live chat sometimes. Anyway, so you have a free aspect, and it's going to be called Gamer Support. It has 1 tag, which means you can use it once for free. Afterwards, you have to spend a fate point on it if you want to use it. And the reason why you would have multiple aspects is because you can use more than 1 aspect on a roll. It shouldn't be too terribly necessary for this situation.
But just in case.
Yeah.
And what was that about free?
Okay. I had him set up, basically what his challenge is, he got 3 successes, so he created an aspect for you that has 1 free, what we call a tag. You can use it once for free.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So instead of spending a fate point, I would be able to use that. Okay.
Right, and then the tag goes away, and I'm going to write myself down a note that there's a tag Yeah, it's right now.
Just
There's
type
only
it. Just type it in a word pad or something.
right. I'm usually doing this on Roll20, and so I usually keep track of it on the map.
I actually am using my emergency stuff notepad I use for miscellaneous stuff.
Right.
Have
Okay.
some of my stats.
If he had been less successful, like maybe only succeeded once, I would have made it a boost, which is free use, but once you use it, it goes away.
So instead of instead of relying on aspects, it would be just like what, +1?
No, it's a it's an aspect. It gives you a +2 as normal, but you use it once and it goes away. You can't reuse it.
So, example, if you got a boost for gamer
Okay.
support, you can use them once and they just kind of head away bored.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
It would have
Get
been.
it. So,
I would have called it token support if it had been a boost.
That's actually nice.
You can also maneuver to add tags to existing aspects, but we'll save that for later. We might not get into all the different complexities that you can do with aspects of that in this game. The main thing is to get through the scenario. So you are now making the robots. And Clint, what is your character doing for the booth?
I thought that I could help with the advertisement, and this is by, walking around and asking people to come. But I'm not going to do this alone. I'm actually going to call on my gang to help me, because they should come and do something useful for once.
Right. You're not going to provide cookies at refreshments? Go talk to your mother?
You really, really have luck that you caught me on a really, really good day. Otherwise, we'd be talking now. That would be Clint's answer to that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I am calling on my help aspect, cadre of bodies, persuasion. I have a persuasion value of 2.
Well, normally I would set what the challenges are going to be, and
yeah, first.
but persuasion is definitely one of them. Alexi, you're building, so craft is definitely going to be one of them. I'm going to say craft and willpower, and you've already got resources, so I'm going to go ahead and say reasoning. Or no, yeah, reasoning.
Yeah, that sounds well, or knowledge, either or.
Yeah.
Reasoning will work, I guess.
Okay. Because it's logic and figuring it out. This kind of stuff is a little bit.
It's not quite exactly taught. It's just figuring it out. So yeah.
You don't have a textbook on it, and it's not something you've done before, so it's not in your knowledge. It's something you're figuring.
All right. So let's just start with the craft roll.
Okay.
It's got a stat of 4, so.
Yes.
Just a second, I gotta tell someone.
I hear someone's beeping quite a lot.
My apology.
Don't worry about it.
I have a friend.
I guess it's advertisement time. Now we need an advertisement running here through the screen.
Okay. Anyway, so you're going to be doing craft, resources, and reasoning. Clint is going to be persuasion, willpower, and I'm going to go ahead and say deception. Okay.
Wait, what? Perception?
Deception.
Ah. Alright,
we're going to bring Chiyoko in on this a little bit here. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and say Chiyoko. Chiyoko comes up late to the meeting. Go ahead and unmute your microphone to introduce yourself. Or an introducer. You can do it in text too, since it's showing up on the screen here.
Wait, don't you have a screen? A microphone ready, Micah?
He's having feedback issues. I'm not sure if he's comfortable in using it. I'm fine with him muting and using it. That's why we have push to talk in my normal group. But anyway, go ahead and type out Chioko's introduction, and we'll get to your 3 challenges since we've done the example challenge, and we'll run all 3 of your challenges 1 roll at a time each.
All right. So I'm waiting for the introduction, or shall I roll?
Go ahead and do 1 roll each of yours, and while Micah's typing up his introduction. That'll be fine.
All right. Let's see. So I'm using my what was it? I use my persuasion, which is 2.
You can use.
And I'm using my.
You
Yes.
can use them in any order you want. Persuasion is 2, and you're going to be using your cadre of buddies. I would suggest waiting until after you've made the roll to use that fate point. But go ahead.
All right. Well, so in other words, just a fair roll now.
Right. Right now you're at a 3. You can spend a fate point to make it a success, or you can succeed with cost.
Well, I guess. Well, we gotta raise some funds for the fair. So while nobody's looking, Clint gathers his group, puts his arms around them, and just whispers to them. And my mother's been working on some fine bakery. Maybe you guys get a share of it if you can help me out here,
Okay. Then that's a fate point spend?
Yes.
It won't let Misojo back in when he dropped.
That's a problem.
What's the deal?
Misojo dropped, and Google Plus won't let me re-invite him. Maybe he had to restart, so maybe it'll just automatically bring him in.
Yeah, he can probably just join it again once he's
bugger
back up.
Yeah, this is okay. People doing voice gaming, Google Plus automatically broadcasts to YouTube, but unless you're doing automatic broadcast, for the love of your sanity, go to Skype or Teamscape.
Go to TeamSpeak, I say, because Skype has its own fuck-ups.
You can use Roll20 for maps, but Roll20's voice chat sucks worse than Google Plus. Okay, anyway, that is a success on yours. Micah, if you want to either unmute temporarily so you can talk, or there you go. Chiyoko walks up looking like $1,000,000 as always. She looks at the gathering of necessary plebeians and sighs. What are you all trying to do?
Clint gives Chiyoko a very disapproval look. Just goes, is the princess showing up for the party as well? Well, basically, we're doing work out here. Do you feel like giving us the honor of assisting us?
Okay.
We practically have the tough guy, and we practically have the, rich girl clashing together.
Yep.
This is going to go weird.
Yep. And Misojo says he should be coming back soon.
You mean like now?
Yeah.
That was probably
Sorry about that, guys.
timing roll.
Sorry about that. That was weird.
We were afraid.
So, what did I miss in the past few minutes?
Chiyoko showed up and is wondering what you all are doing. It looks terribly low class.
Alright, so, that's it? That's all I missed?
That's all you.
Well, Clint gave his answer of disapproval, going, the prince is finally showing up as well. Well, basically we're doing work here. You may share the honor of helping us in this, if you feel up to it. Half demon tough guy, the gamer Goffy girl.
Okay.
Well, one way to Tyler, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Anyway.
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah. You might not know that, by the way. I'm leaving it. Okay. Anyway, Jojo, it is up to you for rolling. Go ahead and roll.
How would I do that? I'm just still trying to figure it out.
Okay, you go to where the two squares are. It should be the second one. And which roll are you going to do first? Craft, reasoning, or what was it? Willpower? Which one?
All right. So since it's craft, I should do what, +4?
Craft is +4 to start, but you also have Gearhead. Oh, that's to repair a modified vehicle, so it doesn't count. But you have Engineer, so you have +2 in craft rolls, and Robotics, which is another +2 on craft rolls. So you actually have a +8. Since this is both mechanical engineering and robotics.
Okay, so yeah, so robotics, mechanical engineering. So I get the +2 and +2 from the expert advantages, and then on top of that, my stat for crafting is +4,
which puts you among the best in the world. There are very few people who have 4s. Usually in this game, you want a lot of 2s and 1 or 2 3s, and that's plenty. You can get one of the example characters in the book has I think a 2 agility, which is average, but she could beat the crap out of an Olympic level Olympic level fencer or Kindoist just on sheer skill.
All right, so I just click +8 and it'll roll, right?
Yes.
All right.
And you
legendary.
Have a 9.
Legendary.
And the difficulty.
You're gonna summon a dragon.
I didn't set the difficulty to start with. I should have. The difficulty for this, I'm going to say, was 6, which is way up there, almost impossible for a normal person. But without professional can do it with time and preparation. But you have a 6 and you beat it by 3. That means you succeed with spin. That's a good idea. That's how we do. I
approve.
We do click to talk in TeamSpeak for that very reason, to avoid background sounds. Anyway, you succeed with spin, which means you get an extra benefit on that one. You did not use that gamer support, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a boost to you. You have gamer support that you still haven't used. I'm going to boost that you have a epiphany that you can use once.
All right.
For this thing. That is, and I usually, when I'm doing it on Roll20, I usually note boost in parentheses to remind me that they are temporary and they will go away as soon as they are used.
All right.
And that is the first 2 rolls. Chiyoko, how are you going to... What they're doing is they're building these Rock'em Sock'em robots of a human size, and they're going to be challenging people to come up and have fisticuffs, virtual fisticuffs, with...
It's a school assignment.
With Clint.
The most important thing for all students ever relies upon it.
Yeah.
For grade.
Okay. So, how do you want to add to the booth? Do you want to actually help build the booth? Do you want to help advertise the booth? Because you already have someone advertising the booth, but you can always have more than one person. Or do you want to help organize the NPCs that we haven't named that we assume are otherwise part of the class or club that you're raising money for?
Actually, she would probably be better served as a, like advertisement in the. Well, Zoe, your character would probably be better at physical labor, which would probably be, the building of the actual booth.
So I'm gonna. Micah is about to talk here, so I'm sorry to cut you off, but I want to give Micah a chance.
Okay, go ahead.
It's like being the wonderful rich kid. If Chiyoko puts her name on this, suddenly more than just the advertised crowd is going to come to see it.
Okay.
So
So you're going to be doing.
I can definitely throw this in the exceptional skill, calling it on top of the latest trends.
Cool.
To advertise for it.
Right, and that would definitely give you a bonus if you end up needing the fate point. Right now, the roles I'm going to have you do, since you're talking about putting your name on it and your reputation and your money, I'm going to say resources, persuasion, and a little bit of deception for your 3 roles. Which one?
Okay.
Which one? Well, the way a challenge works is the game master sets somewhere around 2, 3, 4 different tests, and you see how many of them are successful, how many of them are failed, and it ends up with an end result.
In that case, we'll roll for the resources first.
Okay, so you're going to have a +4. You also have strike. Well, that's plus persuasion. Takes one to know one. All your stuff is about using resources to do things other than aside from the normal. So you might be able to use resources for pretty much everything. Except for the deception, you're going to have to use. You can use resources for everything.
Right.
Money is the solution to everything, as we all know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's fair.
Okay, so you get it's still just a flat +4 because you don't have any abilities that let you increase the resources unless you bring in your but corporate family. You get a +1 on persuasion rolls with corporate thing. Oh yes, let me go ahead and relink the base scenario thing. This is another thing you need to do when you're doing online gaming is you need to keep up your links at all times as the GM. There you go. Okay, so go ahead and make your first roll, which is get resources. And that's a 3. You are currently going to either fail, or if you choose, succeed with cost, or you can spend one of your fate points. And looking at refresh, Chico or Chioko, whatever we name it. Chico has 2 refresh, which means you have 2 fate points. You can spend one of those fate points to get a +2 or a reroll. At what you rolled, it's better to get a +2.
Yeah, I'd spend a fate point on using the gear aspect of large allowance to improve the gear.
Right. So
basically,
that gives you a 5. So you succeeded in the first roll. We are now going to the second set of rolls. I believe we had persuasion, craft, and resources first, which means for Clint, what you have left is willpower and deception. For Chico, what you have left is resources again and deception. And for Alexei, what you have is reasoning and willpower to stay up long enough to get it all done. So which ones do you want to go? And I apologize for making this so that Mitch is sitting here watching all 3. But we used him as the example.
It's okay. I actually GM'd a Fate RPG before, so I'm perfectly fine doing the example.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna go ahead and do Will for to start off. So that'd be a plus. Yep, I don't really seem to have any bonuses or aspects that would add on to it.
You can use your epiphany because you're riding the high of your epiphany if you need to, or you can use the gamer support because they can provide surge or other versions of highly poisonous caffeine.
Or like an extra pair of hands just to help take off some load so it's not exactly as strenuous. So, well, I think I'm going to use that extra buddy stuff. So what would that end up causing the roll to start off as?
You don't want to use your tags until after the roll.
All right. So I'm just going to start with +2 then, because that's pretty much all it is, a flat +2.
Right.
Ow.
-1. So remember, you can use more than one fate point. You can defeat at cost, which means I add a negative into your success. You can just flat out fail, which doesn't mean the entire project fails. It just means I make a little note of it for later in the scenario. That something could go wrong. Or you can spend. You would have to spend 2 fate points, the equivalent of 2 fate points, to get it up to a success.
And the necessary what's the difficulty?
4. Sorry, if I don't say it, it's 4. If I don't say it, ask me. It'll usually be 3 or 4. I'm saying 4 just to make it a little. If you in this system, if you set a difficulty at 4, that means they're usually going to have to spend a fate point. A 3, they're like it's about 50%, because most rolls are going to be made at plus 2.
Mm-hmm. And if what would happen now if I used that the whole extra buddies caffeine and aid?
Well, the aspect would still be there, but you would not be able to use it for free again unless somebody maneuvered it to move that on.
All right, so I can use that for free.
Yes.
So that's gonna add a +2. So I'm already just 1 short of passing. And if I used a fate point here, I'd get it raised up enough that I would pass it.
Right.
It's as simple as that.
Or you can use the epiphany if you don't want to use a fate point.
And the epiphany, what is the epiphany? Is also a one-time thing, right?
Yeah, the epiphany is just a fate point. It's just like a fate point. It's just like the gamer support thing you got, except for afterwards, the aspect is completely gone. When you use the gamer support aspect, the tag went away, but the aspect is still there. So if you wanted to just...
So it's another +2.
Yes.
Alright, so... And if I just straight up used a fate point, it would...
be the same.
I would still be able to... Alright, so...
But,
you know what, the epiphany, is that good for most anything as well?
Anything related to this challenge.
Alright, so... I'm a little leery about the next roll, since that's also a flat 2.
Okay.
So I think I'm just going to use a fate point for this one immediately, so
Okay.
I'm going to use the gamers helping me with the going on into building it, and going to use a fate point to just get me right over the difficulty.
Okay. Got it. So
I'm down to 3.
Okay. And you are up. You got your second roll is a success. So, Clint and Micah, which rolls do you want to do next?
Throw your money at people.
So, resources in deception or willpower in deception? Which of the two do you want? Which of your 2 choices?
I'm going to go for deception.
Okay. Get the low one
Let's
out
get
of
the
the way.
low one out of the way.
Yeah. So you can know whether or not you're going to need the fate point or not. Go ahead. Go for it.
Alright. So it's a +2, right?
It's a +2. Oh,
Ouch.
that's -1. So at this point, you can spend, I believe, your last fate point, or you can which one would be enough, or you can succeed with costs, which means there will be a downside to it. And I can tell you right now, the downside is going to be a little bit of social stress, which means there's going to be a little bit of gossip about you, not enough to actually be a consequence or a lasting reputation thing, but there'll be a little bit of gossip about you for the next day.
That sounds fair, associating with nerds and outcasts. So
That's like I'm thinking succeed with cost, and then don't go outside for too long the next few days. and hopefully mom and dad aren't too mad.
Yeah. So you take 3 stress and 3 social stress, and Kyoko has 6 stress tracks. So right now her stress track looks like this, and because she just took 3 social stress, it now looks like this.
Okay, interesting. That's how that stress stuff works, huh? My guy looks like he's not that good with stress, apparently. So good.
Well, just to tell you, Kyoko's social stress is a monster.
It sounds like a monster to me.
It is virtually impossible in this scenario to do much in the way of any damage to Kyoko's reputation. Okay. That said, it's still feasible depending on how often she damages.
That could have been so much worse.
Yeah. Okay. So you're going to succeed with 3 stress costs. And now we're going on to Clint. You want deception or willpower?
Quick look at it. Well, since both is at 2, let's go with willpower here.
Okay.
For some reason, I have a feeling that I will be the one that sort of messes this up.
Oh, whoa!
A mediocre, and this is going to be again a deception 4. You can suffer a success with costs. And what it'll be in this case is I'm going to put a little bit of a depending on whether you succeed the next one or not, I will either add a negative boost or a negative aspect to your booth to roll against when we get to the end of the scenario.
Oh, I can just see it now. The ring breaking apart.
Oh, this isn't what he said it was going to be at all.
The robots suddenly turn into Megazords, and we suddenly have a very big combat going on.
Okay, so I'm going to add on to that. I don't know if it's a boost or an aspect yet, but right now you have overblown expectations as an aspect on your booth.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh well. But at least I succeeded. We don't know at which price, but I did.
Yeah. So you're going to get people coming to the booth. Some are going to be a little bit disappointed. Now,
I don't know how people can be disappointed with these giant life-size Rock'em Sock'em robots that are able to be controlled by power gloves.
I know.
And that punch the shit out of each other. You forgot that too.
Okay.
So
that kind of comes with the
package.
fact that they're Rock'em Sock'em robots.
We are now down to the last 3 rolls, which is reasoning, resources, and willpower.
Alright, I'll take care of the reasoning first. Another flat 2.
Okay.
And I have 3 fate points and the epiphany, which is going to be very useful for reasoning if these rolls are anything to say.
Right.
Alright, ready?
Okay. You're going to need it or succeed with costs.
Alright, what's the difficulty with this?
Again, we forgot to say it before. My apologies again. I'm going to say 5, which means your epiphany will get you a success.
Alright, yeah, I definitely need an epiphany with this because... Yeah. So, there we go. I succeed. Hooray.
So, the robots are in perfect working order. They do exactly what Alexei wants them to do. In fact, some of them are even really impressive because of that legendary roll earlier. Okay.
And then they explode.
Yeah.
No, explode in pure awesome.
Okay. Go ahead and go on to the next. The next 2. It's going to be resources and willpower for the other 2. Because Chiyoko throws money at everything.
Hey, if it works.
Take my money, bitches.
It may not buy love, but it will buy everything else.
And you've been
People wonders if Chico is powerful enough to hire a witch to train her. Yes. Because Dima can certainly use powerful psychic.
Let's see if money will buy us happiness.
Well, let's see. Well, yes, it will.
Oh, wow.
Holy crud.
Turns out money does buy happiness.
Okay, it's not quite with the spin, but if you wanted to get it with spin, you could spin a fate point to get it with spin. But I really wouldn't suggest.
Nope.
Suggest it because all it really does
I'm not using the last one for that.
Basically you're spend a fate point to get a fate point is what that would be. So
That would be very useless at that point.
yeah.
Yeah.
It depends. In the game, it depends, because sometimes you can spend a fate point to add a tag to an aspect that anybody can use. But in this case, it's not overly useful.
No one's getting it.
Yeah, because everyone's working on their own thing currently.
Okay,
Alright, the last roll?
go ahead.
Yeah, what was the last roll again? Willpower?
Willpower, yes.
Well done. Oh god.
Ouch!
That's
Ouch,
a lot.
Zoe, you have been very hurt with these rolls.
Well, they have-
Well, I'm in the box club, I'm good.
okay, so you're going to end up. Well, you can say succeed with cost, or you could just fail if you want.
Let's just safely say that I am fine to fail for once.
Okay, now you succeeded. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Anyway, so you succeeded in 2 rolls. One was succeeded at cost. So what I'm going to do is that overblown expectations is an aspect against you, but you do have lots of hype, and you have innovative life-size Rock'em Sock'em robots, and I'm going to add a tag to that. And these are for later at the end of the session when we're rolling to see who has the best booth in the fair.
We just destroyed the other fairs with the robots and we win automatically. I don't see a problem with that.
Suspiciously similar to what Clint Fairbloke did the last time I ran this scenario. He went around sabotaging all the other booths.
Not that sort.
Okay.
Yeah, sabotaging, behind the scenes. We don't need that. We just show everyone that we had the best robots anyway.
Bryceland, did you ever see the librarians?
Yes, I did.
I'm
The only
getting a
issue
mixed
is
image
that
of that
that's
science fair.
Yes. Okay, so we also have high-class advertising as a courtesy of Chiyoko. So we have
Yeah, that's the only.
three full
The only
aspects in positive on your booth. Now, the next day, as you're putting the booth together, it's the day of the fundraising. The fundraising fair hasn't started yet, but you're putting everything together, and people are wandering around from booth doing different things. And as you're sitting there, somebody starts. This girl, everybody kind of knows her. You don't know her too well, but her name's Jessica. She's like the perfect girl next door. Everybody likes her, and she's nice to pretty much everybody.
Hey.
Greetings. Do you wish to have the aid of the master of the power glove?
Oh, I'm sorry.
So bad.
Oh.
See
Anyway,
you later.
Dima grabs a drink of water.
okay. In any
Yes,
case,
her voice actually did give out while doing that. I read that canon.
Jess does kind of look over. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. It's like, I was just wondering, do you have any duct tape? We kind of need some. Somebody ran out over at my booth.
Well, that's easy enough. My guy has everything. He always has his tools, his gear aspect.
Now
Wait.
Okay, everybody, please roll me empathy with a difficulty of 3.
Alright, empathy. Let's see.
Empathy?
Empathy.
Wait, do I even have that
yeah,
skill?
okay. Difficulty of 3. All right, everyone rolls it. Okay.
It's basically the perceptive version of. It's the perceptive roll on the.
All right. So just give me a flat 2 for me. All right. Come on. Yes.
Sweet merciful Christ in heaven!
Hey, I succeeded.
What?
Without dooming myself.
And
I'm good.
Luca, your turn.
What?
everybody,
Pathetic of the group.
everybody except for Dima is noticing that Jess seems distracted and out of sorts from her normal self. From what little you know about, what little contact you have with her, she's seen a little bit fidgety. And I have a fate point for Chiyoko. Because Chiyoko, let's see, what were my, which aspect is it? Okay, severe identity confusion. Chiyoko, you're feeling strangely attracted to this girl. Remember, you haven't even admitted really to yourself what your sexuality is.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
I was thinking like, darn it, I'm
What the? Huh?
Oh no, he was frozen in carbonite.
You know what? Let's get tape and see if she needs anything else.
Okay. So, yeah, you're going to be reacting either uncomfortable to yourself or hanging on her, whichever one you want to do it, however you want to do it, but you're getting a fate point for acting in response to your attraction to this girl. Okay, so I don't.
Fun.
Yeah. I don't know. I could really try. I could ask a little bit around. Thank you for your help. And she is really that fidgety and nervous about how she's talking.
You know, something on your mind, maybe? You're weird, to say the least.
Oh, weird? I'm not weird. No. Okay. Thank you for the duct tape. I'm going to start trying to go as soon as that.
So
You could try
right, so
persuasion or whatever other method you want to keep her here if you want to. But she's, at this point, freaking out a little bit and wanting to go.
Intimidation.
Well,
I gotta make her disturbed. Nah, I'm just kidding.
whoa.
You may
Alright,
be disturbing her, but
who's
Chiyoko right now is
persuasion?
staring you down as if she's going to hire somebody to kill you.
Alright, Mika, I think you might actually have the better stat for persuasion. I'm at flat 2.
Yeah, just tell her that you
Hold
pay her
on.
money if she speaks up.
Nah, it's like Chiyoko calls after. Is there anything else you might need someone to talk to about things? It's probably the most uncomfortable she's been in a while.
Yeah. Like, no, I don't really think so. Go ahead, roll persuasion. I'll roll her willpower.
Do it. Use your money to boost your
Come on.
abilities.
Use the
Come
force.
Invest in cybernetics.
Yeah.
Oh!
She's leaving.
Should we all try and roll persuasion?
I think she's leaving.
Oh, I have to roll for willpower. I have to.
Oh, I read that
yeah,
actually.
even better.
Yeah. She might completely fail. Okay.
Lesbians everywhere. And she runs. Because that was what she was afraid about in the first place.
Considering she's
Even internally, I'm having this conflict. Let's not go that far. Actually, let's take this as far as we can go.
Okay, that works.
It's a boost. You've gotten her to hesitate. You've got a partial success. You've gotten her to hesitate. You do have 2 fate points you can spend if you want to push up. Also, you have striking looks. But
Yeah, so
that would
Do they work on women?
it only works against people with
Depends on the women.
the women. And I'm trying to think.
It would work the other way.
It would. No, you see, if Jess were 25, would be no question because she's a succubus and would be pansexual.
And therefore it would be. We're doing it right now.
Right. But, well, no, it depends on because some of her particular ideal would tend to be monogamous. She would probably want to date first. But
Waka waka.
yeah, but she's
But I have money.
doesn't. So I'm trying to see if striking looks would apply to children.
Touche.
I'm going to go ahead and say no.
We're in high school, right? And
Yeah.
is this a little girl or a high school girl?
16, but she looks human 16, but her emotional maturity doesn't come in until around mid-20s.
Fair enough.
So in other
it's currently
words,
attempting to work with like a 12-year-old.
we need to find out what little girls like.
Sorry, Mike, I didn't.
You
But-
need to buy
Alright,
a
so
face
you want to do that fate point
transplantation.
thing?
You want to spend a fate
No.
to get her to stay?
Hold
Or
on.
actually,
No.
he is hesitating, and somebody else can try again.
Can I try?
Oh, alright.
My character
Actually,
has.
my guy could try too.
Gyoko, this is what happens. You say, it's like, he's kind of hesitating. There's definitely she's looking at Gyoko and there's definitely something that she's kind of nervous about. But she's not sure if she wants to say anything. You've got her to hesitate. And Dima?
Okay. For Dima,
Stop for a step.
do you seek knowledge? For I am a master of all manners of occult and darkness. I know how to do. I know how to solve whatever whatever you wish. The ancient knowledge of the jinn is at my command.
You'll need a psychologist after this.
Clint,
I feel like this will actually succeed better than me.
Clint, I have a fate point for you.
Yes?
I will give you a fate point if you call bullshit on Dima.
Hey! Clint stands looking over with a very nonplussed look at Dima and just goes, "Hey, I think I heard that from somewhere. Are you quoting some sci-fi series there? I think you're the one who needs the attention first."
Buffy the Vampire Slayer is not sci-fi, it's fantasy.
Whatever.
Okay.
The Master was the best villain in the series and he died far too soon.
But he was a villain. That was his point. He was the bad guy, so he needed to
They kept
be done.
Spike for 5 seasons. They kept Spike over to Angel and... Besides, I have-
Guys, do we have more
Guys,
duct tape? I
do
need
we-
it, I think.
Mike,
Magic Awakening.
you're noticing that Jess is starting to go away again.
Oh, so I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna walk in front of her and try and start convincing her since I'm not part of that argument.
I can see your opening line. I don't know these people.
These
All
are
right,
not
so I actually
relatives
succeeded.
of mine. I
Wait,
am not
wait,
related to them in any way.
Oh damn it!
No, I'm sorry. I really, really have to be going back to my booth and helping out with my group. I really
Fate
can't.
point.
Fate point to get her to hesitate. If you spend a fate point, she will hesitate, and Kyoko will have another chance.
Shadowrun was
Yes,
perfectly
fate point.
realistic example of channeling.
All right, so I'm down to 2 fate points. All right.
Okay, Kyoko. Alexi has caused her to pause. She said, "Well, I shouldn't go because I have people I need to help." And Kyoko, you have another chance while these two are off arguing about Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Oh boy. Chioko approaches, gets a few steps short of putting her hand on her shoulder. Ignoring
You kept-
them, if you really have anything you need to talk to, I'm here.
Okay. And go ahead and give me the persuasion roll.
Let's-
Go roll a 10.
Oh no!
She rolled a 0.
Yeah, you're living
Ouch.
sometimes, Clint.
Yeah.
Come on, let's see a bad roll. Let's see a bad roll.
Ouch.
Come on,
I got
come on,
half of it.
come on.
Oh.
Yes!
God.
Don't worry.
Let's say, nope. You probably get creepy or
I think she's
something.
leaving.
At this point, she looks. You're running across the fact that, of course, you don't know this, and she really doesn't either, since she doesn't know what's going on with her. You're running across an appeal to a. You're basically making an appeal to someone with a 8 to 10-year-old concept of emotions, and
Nice.
you're using a teenage concept of emotions. So there's a
Ooh.
little bit of disconnect. It's like, no, I have to go. I promised I need to go. Her intelligence and body are at 16-year-old human. Her sexuality and emotions are at about 8 to 10.
Ow. Okay,
This
yeah.
is the guy who's. This is the kind of person whose general idea of what girlfriends and boyfriends do is cuddle.
Yes.
I'll be honest, this sounds like the reverse situation of the friggin' dragon lollies.
Yes. Okay. So that pretty much handles that. What I want everybody to do now is to please roll your metabolic, which for most of you is going to be 0. I think Clint is the only one that has. Yeah, Clint has a 2.
Oof. I got
Damn.
0. Yeah, hold on.
Mediocre.
Yep.
Also
Ouch.
Thrice.
What the fuck?
Oh no!
These +2 were really helpful.
Okay, I'm ruling that one's Dima's fault because she did look directly at Clint and say the darkest, deepest curse she knows.
May you live in interesting times.
That's an ancient Chinese curse. I speak truly.
And may
Will you
you
live
find
in
a
interesting
psychologist
times?
who's helpful later.
Okay, so everybody, please. You've noticed you're feeling rather itchy. Within about 10-15 minutes of Jess going away, you're all feeling very itchy.
Oh god.
It goes away really fast for Dima. It goes away eventually, but she's itchy for a little bit. And you look, and you got rashes along your arms and stuff. It just seems to have come from nowhere.
And that girl had fleas on her.
I have a rival. This is a true sign of my power.
Oh god.
Begins putting in reminders not to talk to this girl again.
Agreed.
And to think I almost
It's an
touched her.
actual curse. No, really, I think I have it in my local copy of religious texts.
May you live in interesting times, is that it?
No, I'm talking about rashes, boils, etc.
Oh,
I think it's
yeah,
actually one of the 10 that was used against Egypt.
Okay,
Yes.
Sounds about right, yeah.
this now goes into the next phase of the scenario, which is running the booth or wandering around the area. You are going to end up running across Jess again. But who wants to be running the booth, and who wants to be wandering around looking at the other booths?
Well, I almost.
I gotta be
You
running the
I'm
booth
gonna
because I
run
gotta
this.
be around just in case to make sure the stuff's working.
Okay.
Yeah,
I believe
probably
general
have
agreement was that Clint would provide the
I can't
foe.
stick.
I would
I can't
probably
stick my nose
have
high
to.
enough for this.
Okay.
Yeah, Zoe's character would probably be the sticking around as well for, like being the opponent.
Right.
That was what I was about to say.
Okay.
Sorry.
A couple
Jumping on-
times.
That leaves Micah, and I'll start with Micah, and then I'll go to Mitch. Micah? Your
What if you caught dead?
your webcam is very intimidating, by the way. Stone face.
I'm larger than everybody else right now.
It's also the webcam isn't updating very much, so it's not showing your emotional responses.
And maybe he has no emotional responses.
I am now mechanical. My character seems to have sucked the emotion out of me.
All the Borg shall have you.
So anyway, is Micah hanging out at the booth with the nerds, or is she wandering around the fair enjoying things?
Yes, stay with the dorks.
I'm fine with either or. You could go off and wander. My guy's fine as long as you can tinker.
High school host club. The commoners can handle the booth.
Okay. You're going to go to the host club. Okay, I know exactly who's running that.
Commoners.
Time to bring up the Hafkits. Okay. Which will be interesting. Are you going to the cosplay cafe with the girls, or are you going to the what do you call it? The host cafe where everybody would expect you to go?
And the entire world stands still while Chioko was choosing her cafe of choice.
Okay. You're going to a cafe, cosplay cafe with them? Or was that, I was off screen, so I didn't see who actually talked. Micah, were you going to the host club or the cafe? Type it out if you're having troubles with your mic.
Host club.
Oh, I'm sorry, is Chioko going to the cafe or is she going to the host club? Girls or guys?
Huh?
Did we lose Micah?
No, I see voice coming from there occasionally.
Micah?
Mike, dude.
His picture is frozen.
He's frozen in carbonite once more. God damn it, Dima.
Crap.
What did I tell you? No weird Star Wars references when I am around.
Is that what happened to me when... Oh,
okay.
Wait.
Host club, got it. Okay. We'll come back to we'll come back to see if you can get if the microphone comes a little bit better for you, give you a little bit of time to calm down your software. Okay, what is Dima doing?
Well, first, Dima's gonna just sit and watch Clint's thing because, let's be fair, it's awesome. But after that, she's just gonna go around and look, and take a small look over of any of the other booths. Though she does look into any one of them that could possibly have a furnace.
A furnace. Okay, so you're looking for...
There's a reason.
Okay, you're looking for a booth that has a furnace.
Remember.
Yeah.
In the 6 plagues of Egypt. Well, okay, she looks for about a little bit, then she just gets distracted by booths.
Okay.
But she's still fixated on this.
Happens.
Now...
Tinker, tinker, tinker. Bang, bang.
Excuse me while I comport myself. Now, as you're walking along, I've got actually another fate point for you, Clint. You're seeing someone walk past that you recognize. Her name's Jennifer Summers. She is You know she's a Lemurian, which you know she's not human. You also, just so you know, Lemurians used to be called something else before a certain set of stories came out. What they used to call themselves is Deep Ones. Calling them that now would be incredibly offensive, thanks to a certain person who was a racist jerk.
Could you repeat that? I didn't got like the last 2 sentences.
Okay. Lemurians used to call themselves Deep Ones.
Yeah.
But after Lovecraft stories came out, that sort of has become a slur. Now you're looking to try to get somebody to come over to you and challenge you to a fight, and you're seeing her. And you know she's one of those Lemurians that has a huge chip on her shoulder about the whole Innsmouth thing, and you know some people a couple 100 years ago getting slaughtered and stuff like that. So if I'll give you a fate point if you decide to say, "Hey, Deep One, come over here and try this out."
Deep One, care for a spare? We got some cool robots. You won't get a scratch.
That's not quite.
Yeah. You're
insulting her. You're goading her.
Yeah. She stops, turns slowly around, narrows her eyes, and comes right up and says, "Okay, how much to beat the crap out of the jerk?"
We'll see. Okay.
I'm standing around blinking like, and I turn to the Flint and blink some more. Blink at her some more. And just proceed to point at the board. Proceed to point at the board that says the price.
Okay, is that using the robot, or do I actually get to fight him?
I just silently handed the
ladies, I don't punch girls. Sorry.
Okay, roll me perception real quick.
Right. It's gonna be beaten up right on the plane.
And just so you know, in every game one of these two has shown up, they've gotten in a fight with the other one.
Well, let's see. Oh man.
What's your death? Okay.
Well, hey.
Okay.
We're gonna lose bad.
Gather points by pissing people off.
Okay. Oh, you don't actually see it coming.
Fired.
Oh!
My character is so doomed.
Roll plus 0. Roll plus 0.
Captain Falcon proud.
You get to add your agility because you're being surprised. Roll plus 0.
Captain Falcon would be proud.
Okay, you are taking 3 stress and a boost, which is flummoxed. It'll go away as soon as she uses it. But she has done 3 physical stress to you.
Okay.
Which
Ouch.
you have 5. You have a 5 stress track, which means she hasn't hurt you that badly.
You probably have a black eye now.
No, he's
Alright.
flummoxed. But black eye would be an actual consequence. Okay.
Well, I guess Clint's response shall be, alright, I'll make an exception for you. You're not a lady.
Okay. Please, both of you, roll me perception for initiative, so I can know what order to do this in. Alexi, if you want to stop the fight, you have the option. Yeah, she's. They're going simultaneously. Alexi, please save us.
Why am I rolling
what
so bad?
do I roll? What do I do? What should I do?
Roll your agility. Oh no, perception. Roll your perception.
Okay, rolling perception first and foremost. It is perception to da 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 da. So what am I hoping to do?
Well, right now you're trying to see who goes first. This is initiative roll. And we have a positive result. Alexi, you get to go before either one of them throws another punch.
All right, I still have the power gloves. I'm grabbing it, using it to get in between, to use one of the robots to get in between the two and just hold them up by their fists and keep them hanging in the air and swinging uselessly.
Man, that's not cool. I need to pick somebody up.
Alright, so what should I roll for that?
Give me a moment to find where I put Alexi. There you are. First of all, in order to do that, I'm going to go ahead and ask that you spend a fate point on Likeable Robot Geek to get the ability to try to grapple both of them. Okay?
Fair enough. Because I'm trying to be perceptive enough to go against both, so
right.
That's fair.
And then I'm going to have you roll your agility on controlling it to get them both. And I will roll their agility to. They will roll their agility to resist.
All right, now it looks like I get maneuvers related to mechanical engineer and robotics. So does that also count?
A maneuver is a separate action, actually. What a maneuver does is it creates a new aspect so that you can do a job easier later. In one example of a sword fight I ran, the entire sword fight for 5 rounds was both sides doing maneuvers.
And to try and get one up over the other.
Right. Now, in imagination, they were swinging swords and all that, but no damage was being done. But they were building up aspects against each other. And then the player in the last round, in the last thing, used all the tags she had built up and about 5 fate points and completely annihilated the person she was fighting with a mental attack.
Alright, so rolling agility. I'm down to 1 fate point currently, and I'm rolling agility, which is a flat 2.
Right.
Alright, that's gonna hurt.
12?
Oh no!
You can roll to get a you can spend a fate point to get a reroll, and when you roll 2 negatives, you're statistically more likely to get a better result if you spend a fate point for a reroll. You could still.
Alright, so I want to see what the other 2 guys are gonna roll first.
Okay.
Who knows? Maybe they'll fuck up worse.
You can.
Okay, what am I gonna roll?
You're going to roll your agility.
Alright. Oh, that should be 2. Once more. I'm not good with these anyway. Never fucking mind.
Oh, you have succeeded in catching Jennifer, but not Clint.
And even if I reroll, I don't know if I'm going to be able to succeed.
Apparently,
I'm not good at this.
My character's specialty is to beat up women. That's cool.
Alright, so I'm pretty much stuck only capturing her.
Yes.
Even if I spend a fate point on re-rolling, it's not gonna do jack against Flint.
I can already see how this will go down. I can already see it. He will take his robots, pick up the girl, and just run away from Clint, and Clint will run after him for like the entire session.
Yeah.
No, I'm just gonna play the mean tall person holding people up, holding the prized thing away from your reach.
I want you now to roll a +2 since I figure these robots don't have an exceptional amount of strength. Roll me a +2. And her action is going to be trying to break the block you have on her. The grapple. Which I think I'll give her +1 from athlete too. Oh, but she doesn't have much. Okay, so Clint, I'm going to ask you what you do first because you're a PC.
Flint,
I am not sure, actually. I can...
now being held off the ground by one of the robots.
A reasonable reaction in this instance, I confess, would be just sit there laughing.
Yeah, that was what I was actually considering, to play it cool like that.
Do you want to do a mental attack rather than a physical attack?
Yeah, I think so. Well, alright.
So jeers count as mental attacks, huh?
Yeah, mental attacks work exactly like physical attacks. They just go to a different stress bar.
Stress, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Flint simply raises his head and just goes like, the fresh air will do you good. I guess you need some cooling down.
Oh no. What did you?
Okay, so what do I roll?
What did you pour on her?
Huh?
What are you pouring on her?
I'm not pouring anything. He's just saying, you know, it's good that you're all the way up there. You can use the fresh air to cool down.
Okay. Go ahead and roll persuasion for that. Persuasion's whenever you're doing force of character. So is persuasion. That kind of insult is persuasion, and I'm going to give her a willpower roll.
Does Clinton have any aspects that would help with that?
Oh,
or not aspects, advantages.
Let's see. Yes, fearless, quick step, hard style, half demon, and enhanced smell. Nope.
Nope. Yeah.
It's not really. I'm not sure this character was built to be that woman.
No.
Domestic violence, the ability.
Yeah. Okay.
What happened?
Now.
Alright, so I'm grappling her, and so she's doing a resist against me and Flint.
Well,
Oh.
she's not accepting the. She's no selling the insult. Well, not quite no selling because she didn't get a spin on her defense. But oh, fuck you, Fairbulg. Just.
Oh, there goes our PG-13 rating. Well, PG.
Yeah.
There goes the PG rating.
Yeah. F you, Fairbulg. It's
Well, bleep to you too.
Hey, I curse in British.
Yeah.
You can curse in German. Nobody will find the difference.
Yeah. I should probably
It's fair.
do that, like what my sister does.
Pabo.
The English.
Pabo.
Yeah. Okay. But she's basically sitting up there, and she's going to go ahead and try to break out of the grapple.
Oh.
And yeah.
Holy fuck! What is going on? Somebody's gonna die here.
We are no longer PG-13.
Definitely.
Oh, we're still PG-13. I've heard worse curse words on PG.
Alright,
True,
so
Technically, according to the rules of PG-13, you can drop one F-bomb.
Okay.
But I'm doing this out of character. It doesn't count.
The rating system is weird.
Yes, it is.
And nobody listens to it.
Because
I
anyway,
listen to it.
it is. I'm going to go ahead and pause that before we get to the next initiative round. Dima, go ahead and give me a perception roll to find a booth with a furnace.
Or just anything interesting.
Anything interesting? Okay.
As I said, you'd probably give them up on that pretty quick.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You're wandering around the fair. You can succeed with cost, which means it'll take you some time, and I'll try to go to see if Micah's microphone is working real quick and talk to him for a little bit. Or you can just fail and continue wandering around for a while. I will say this: you do notice that there are a couple of different reporters that are going around. Okay, there are a couple different reporters. At least there's this Korean woman that's been going around, kind of looking really bored and uninterested in things. And there's this older Hispanic guy who's kind of like the Willard Scott of the neighborhood. He does the
Oh, come over here. We're having a fight here. Look at that. That's interesting.
I confess that I have no idea who Willard Scott is.
Oh, Today Show weatherman. He was my
Okay.
my age. If you're my age, you know who he is. He was on TV forever. Big, cheerful Santa Claus type guy. Anyway, Micah, could you unmute your thing real quick and see if you can talk real quick? We'll let everybody else quiet down.
Mom, how many things do you have going on?
Okay, I can hear you. It's a little bit fuzzy, but I
Right now I'm that laggy.
Okay.
Oh no, he has been turned into a robot. Yeah, I think so too.
Okay. Micah, do you want to go back to just watching, or are you? I'm fine if you want to continue. I'm wondering if you're having fun with what it is.
Wait, what?
If he's having issues getting started, I don't.
Only shows that I'm not muted.
Okay. Whoa. Okay. Try again. Talk, please.
Uh,
I'm hoping he's restarting.
Medic.
Probably.
Okay.
Alright, so what can we do now while we wait?
Okay. Well, let's go back to Dima. Dima, you're wandering around the fair a little bit. Go ahead and give me a perception roll.
Again?
Yeah. This is for something different.
Good.
Okay. You do hear some sort of a ruckus. Yeah.
Investigate. It could be the Dark Shaper. I actually say this out loud.
The what?
The Dark Shaper. It's like...
I actually looked up the terms used,
Yeah.
and stuff like Akira, Shaper, and Channeler is common knowledge enough that you get it right.
Okay, you probably would hear Akira somewhere. Yeah, and Shaper is definitely showing up in a lot of old things. And yeah, okay. Oh, okay. So you follow the disturbance to its source, and surprisingly enough, it's not a fight between one of the swim team and Clint. But I digress. You find it's at the cafe, one of the cosplay cafes, is being put together by the theatrical club for their fundraiser, and it looks like some of their members have gotten a little bit of a rash, kind of like your friends have.
Huh, I was actually right.
She doesn't even believe herself.
Approached them and actually just dug them early. You guys have gotten a rash as well?
Yeah, it's kind of the funniest thing. It was just, I don't know what we touch. I mean, I don't know of anything that we're allergic to.
Do you think it's sabotage?
Well, if so, isn't Fairbog on your team?
Point, but it's just that our team got it, and then your team got it.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know particularly where. I mean, maybe it's you don't think it's some sort of virus or anything, do you?
Well, traditionally I'd go with dark magic, but that sounds vaguely plausible.
Oh yeah, did the thing. Did it work?
Irritatingly
Yeah,
positive.
you did the thing and it worked.
Good.
Okay.
So, where do you
Well,
think we could have gotten the virus?
I don't know. You can ask a suggestion. You can ask him who was just here.
Who was just here?
Oh, what you mean before we got the rashes and all that?
Yeah.
Hooray, Micah looks like he's good to go.
Yep.
Am I human again? Or at least
Yes,
semi-human?
you are.
You are human again. You are no longer
You
a
move! Or are you? Dun, dun, dun.
It's like, there was the honor roll was through here, and Jess and Mary and that group. What's her name? Jess, and Elizabeth. That group was through here for a little bit. Bruce. And yes, Kara. And I'm going to go back to Micah. Micah, you're walking off towards the host club. It is run by a young man named William Brasco, who is well known as a pretty boy on campus. And he is very good looking.
In fact, he's so good looking that you question his sexuality again.
He's so good looking, you question everything about him.
Yeah. Wow, he's not the one with absolutely stunning. I thought for sure he'd be the one with absolutely stunning.
Suddenly, he looked like an ugly thing.
No, he has striking looks. He's still attractive.
Okay.
In that case, we're both sort of hitting each other. In that case, we're both sort of hitting each other in the face.
Yeah.
By standing there.
Yeah.
Unless...
Hey! Welcome to our host club. Feel free to come in and partake of fine drinks and the best sodas we have available. Sparkling grape juice, alcohol-free wine. So,
Alcohol-free wine, because whatever.
How much does it cost for the good stuff?
the good stuff, and how would you mean the good stuff, Mother?
You do remember who I am.
I do remember what you are. I'm just making sure that you're not asking for something that I am not allowed to give you. Really kind of sharp.
Yeah. She walks. It's like Chico walks in, sits down. Just give me the most expensive thing you sell right now. 3 of them.
I can do this now. Please, way.
Right now, it's like Chico is just in that point of I need to just casually disappear from all of the people I had to associate with before. Also on her mind right now is that weird girl who has something wrong but doesn't want to say it.
Oh.
Also, what better way to assure yourself that you're perfectly fine than by hanging around a bunch of guys?
Okay, please roll for me deception.
Deception?
Deception. I need to see if you're giving away.
Ouch.
Yeah, I'm giving stuff away.
Well, maybe not. His empathy is not terribly. Yes, you gave. Oh, a girl, is it? Well, what would be the trouble with this girl you're talking about?
This is that point where you suddenly choke on. This is the point where you really choke on your drink.
Yes.
Or do a spit take.
Yeah.
Eric,
Wait, I'm
not doing
I'm a
that.
bit too classy for the spit take here.
I will.
Yes.
I will give you a fate point if you do the full spit take.
It's that moment of it's like choke, look around, make sure no one's watching.
I have one better for you. I have one better for you.
I watched Ratatouille recently.
Call in a servant, hand the servant the drink, servant takes the drink and spits it out.
Nah.
That would actually be anime epic.
That sounds like a Karen. That sounds like a anime style sort of like Rich Harris do it sort of thing, like Karen Kenzuki or something.
I could have sworn I saw it in a cartoon or anime.
I'm pretty sure it is.
If not, I should have.
Yeah.
It is.
I've seen that in cartoons, in anime, and in one movie actually.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I've seen the servant does everything for rich lady in several places.
But it's like after this wonderful shenanigan, she attempts to regain her composure, but it's not all there.
When you do that, please roll me persuasion against persuasion.
Oh my.
Oh.
You roll it
okay.
twice. The second
Throw
time,
money at it.
you want to roll high on the second one and low on the first one.
All right, that's lowish.
That was the first one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go.
Okay, you're good.
You have successfully avoided dealing social stress to yourself.
Oh no!
That would have been terrible.
I guess things like that happen.
Yeah, it's something I ran across. I started doing because I had people who, in order to keep secrets, were pretending that they were flirting with their teachers.
Oh boy.
Oh.
So every time, granted, the teacher was one of the other PCs, and they were all adults, some of them passing as teenagers. But it just, every time she did that, it's like, okay, roll your persuasion against your persuasion to see if you deal social stress to yourself.
That makes sense. Actually, it does make sense to do that.
It makes the scary sort of sense, but that does not make it any less hilarious.
She ended up creating one of the expert advantages that will go in the book, which is reduce self-inflicted social stress by 2.
That person actually created it?
That deserves to be in the book.
It does.
And she ended up using it so much, she gave herself a minor and a moderate consequence, which lasted through most of the campaign.
Wow.
That's impressive.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Way to go.
Yeah. Anyway.
After the recovery, what would give you that idea?
Oh, maybe I overstepped, but you did sort of blush a little bit when you started talking about the girl.
That would give it away.
Yes, it's anime we're talking about here.
Well, doesn't it? Well, is this anime-ish?
Yes.
I don't know.
It's anime-ish. Think Saved by the Bell or slice of life anime. It could be it could be American sitcoms, or Japanese anime.
With a splash of supernatural.
We are flexible. Basically, we are changing genres every now and then.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden we walk into Maine and we are screwed by Stephen King.
A slight bell
that is an entirely different campaign book. This campaign book is lighthearted, fluffy, and safe.
All right,
Right.
we'll have to take a look at that other campaign book
for
later.
the giant robot attack.
Yeah.
And the bitch fight between Half Demon Boy and Lemuri.
One.
Supporters of the Kickstarter, one of the rewards I give on most of the levels of rewards is voting on which of 4 campaign books I work on next. And the 4 campaign books I'm probably working on next are, depending on what people vote on, the one that's going to be about death, seers, ghosts, and undead. The one that's about occult investigations and the psychic freelancers, psych, and all that.
Freelance police.
The Immortal Detente, which is the Cold War between the Yomi and Nirvana. And the 4th one is the mecha and vehicles and military situations. Those
They
are
actually all sound nice.
Yeah. But when I did a convention scenario for a friend in Northern, who runs a convention in Northern Ireland last year, and I did this scenario for her. So the first campaign book, since I had this scenario, is dealing around with the civilian lightheartedness. It's the perfect time to release this campaign book anyway, because the state of the fiction has not gotten to where the crap has hit the fan yet. So.
Is it wrong that ever since you said psychic investigations that I couldn't get the words out of my head? Sam and Max freelance police.
Ooh.
Why did it happen? You could have prevented it.
Okay. Anyway, so Chiyoko, you did your spit take. What's next? Oh, yeah,
a rather impressive bill appears on the table. Don't tell anyone about this.
Oh, there's no need for that. I will be discreet. I have my share of knowledge about keeping secrets. Go ahead and give me a quick perception roll.
I see a liar out here.
Yeah, it's like, at this point I feel like it's almost better to use take one to know one.
Oh, well, he is half Kitsune, which means there's a possibility that. Oh, actually, no, that's in his character notes. He is bisexual.
This is going to be very, very. I'm not even going to say bad yet.
But if I were asking you to read him, I would have said empathy. This is perception. That means.
Ow.
He's got me.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Well, no. This is perception. So, this is you're not noticing something. You're going to be seeing part of one thing, but not the entirety of something.
Right. Yeah.
Because I need to pass the plot along. The part that passes the plot along, you will see. You see Jess looking somewhat panically, darting between a couple booths off to the side.
Oh, her again, yeah.
And then I'm going to cut back to the fight.
In the meanwhile, domestic violence.
Meanwhile, in this corner.
In the meanwhile, I completely.
Mortal Kombat!
Alexi, your turn first because you were first up in the initiative.
Alright, so. I have failed to grapple both.
Well,
either by not catch.
You grappled one and she broke out.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Alright, so instead of outright grappling, I think I'm just gonna play Mr. Wall in this case and keep between them.
Okay. I'm going to ask you to roll your craft roll on this because these are really good robots, and they have to be fairly agile to do what you want them to do. So go ahead and roll me your craft roll on this.
Alright, so you guys are doing because craft rolls. This is engineer, robotics, and mechanical engineer, so
Robotics, the robotics thing will apply.
The robotics what?
The robotics thing will apply. So you get a +2, so you're going to be rolling 6.
Okay, fair enough. Alright, that's good.
Epic.
So, Jennifer and Clint have to get above a 7 to be able to engage each other. Unless they choose to engage the robot.
I see where this is going.
Wow!
Holy.
Got around the robot.
Wait,
what do I roll? Agility?
No, wait. She's still. It's only a 6, but.
Yeah.
Wait, do I roll agility?
You roll agility to get around the robot.
Alright.
Yep. Nope. Both of you are stuck. I mean, she's showing a lot of darting.
No, she's trying to get at Flint right now. She is vicious at trying to get Flint.
Yeah.
But failing.
At this point, you already have the block between them. You can interfere with them at any time. So I'm going to say you can roll to block either one at any time. They have to get around your 7 first to get at each other. So at this point, I would suggest trying to talk them down.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and say, just start off with trying to calm down the girl by talking down to Flint. But giving him a dressing down publicly, and that might help keep her calm. All right.
Hey, I can punch you too if you want that.
First, let me finish dressing you down before you decide before you decide you want to punch me instead. All right. I don't even know what to say. I want you to apologize right now. That was uncalled for. If you want to fight, you could have just been like, "Hey, who wants to play super-sized rock and sock'em robots?" And what do? Oh, nope, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna freaking insult someone.
And you might even.
What do you say to that?
Yeah, you don't even know.
This is called motivation.
Yeah.
My own trainer does this every time. He calls me a girl to motivate me. I'm doing this for the good of her, to get her into the right mood, you know? I'm making money with this.
I just stand there keeping a very harsh glare at Flint, as though that is not a good excuse.
Are you actually attacking Flint, or are you using this as a fluff to do a persuasion on Jennifer to get her to go away?
I think this is a fluff, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, roll on Jennifer.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you to roll your persuasion, and actually, yeah, roll persuasion, real quick.
All right. +2.
Yep.
Oh.
Average. Okay. She's backing off, stepping back. It's like, okay, you keep him on a leash. I should probably have better things to do. You keep him on a leash, which, this point, it's up to Clint to let her go or not.
Inside her again?
Let it go.
Well, Clint just raises his hands and goes, "Well, I'll probably need 2 leashes, but fine. Have a good time."
Okay. And
I have no idea what's going on.
she gives you the... Yeah, you have no idea what's going on because you don't know the supernatural histories going on. But anyway, she gives the one-fingered salute and goes walking off down, probably towards whatever her group is.
Exactly.
Yeah. Which is probably the Duncan. Okay. Back to Dima. They just told you that the person that was there before was Jess.
I see. Interesting. I shall investigate.
So are you going to go...
I don't know if she actually has a hood, but she does go off like as if she thinks she does.
She's Islamic. It's possible she has a hijab.
Oh, yes.
She's an Islamic gamer goth. I mean, she's obviously not terribly conservative, but it's possible she has a hijab, or however you say it. I apologize to any Islamic people. I don't know.
I actually have no idea how to say it either.
I believe it's a long A. More like it. I'm not really the best to ask on that.
Okay.
All I know is burqa.
Okay.
And and all I know about it is that I used it in MSF High for Hell.
Okay. But
the Norse figure.
Her family. Oh God. Her family is are gamers and Islamic, and she's a gamer and Islamic. I thought that was a weird thing to do, but anyway.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
Probably not
pretty
the
much.
most.
Yeah. Okay. So how are you going to investigate? Back down. Are you going off to investigate? What exactly? Describe it, and I'll set up a challenge.
Her general idea, honestly, would be find where Jess is, follow her either discreetly or not so discreetly, and figure out a good excuse if she gets seen by someone.
Oh, you just have to do this and then go after her. She won't be able to see you.
Actually, no. I think her general idea would be seen in the general area doing chance of good luck or something.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
She just pick up a newspaper and has in front of her while walking forward.
Basically, disguise it by doing a completely different crazy occult thing.
Awesome.
So
Then you
she'll
can use your occult advantage for that.
actually exactly,
Okay.
and I even have some aspects for it.
Yeah. Okay. So,
So
your challenge is going to be deception to cover things. It's going to be empathy to pick up talking to people and pick up Jess's trail that way, and perception to actually see Jess.
let's see, deception first.
Yep.
And I can
Oh,
invoke an advantage.
difficulty is going to be 3. Actually, difficulty is going to be. I'll give you a choice. If you do difficulty 4, it's fine. If you do difficulty 2, you're also going to roll a persuasion against yourself.
Decisions. May I know what the results of failing the persuasion would be?
Yeah, social stress, not necessarily a consequence.
I'll take the social stress.
Okay. Before we go, then go ahead and roll persuasion and persuasion. Remember, first one you want low, second one you want high.
Okay.
Low is...
Oh, lucky
That's
you.
low.
That's low.
Oh no.
That's a bit higher.
It's nothing
Barely.
better than you've ever done before. You're being.
That's hilarious.
You're getting your aspect. People are ignoring. You get your aspect. People are ignoring me. It's coming in your favor. Okay.
Yes.
Go ahead and roll the deception first.
That's going to be a 5, thanks. I can use expert advantages more than once, right?
Expert advantages are generally passive. They just there.
Okay.
If they apply, they apply. And
Yeah.
I think that one
That sounds
says
good.
it's on persuasion rolls specifically.
Yeah.
Oh wow, nice.
That
Mercy of Christ in heaven.
that is
Okay.
really, really good. You have people thinking that one thing, you got people coming up to you asking you for, hey, can I have a blessing? They think you're part of the booth. They think you're part of the fair. They're giving you money.
Sweet.
Oh,
That is awesome.
You win.
Well, Clint always said you belong into a circus.
so you're going to have a wandering good luck blessings as a boost when you're rolling, and one of your booth titles is probably going to be most profitable booth.
Oh no! I start making.
Okay, now let's
So
try,
now make sure to point them towards the thing.
let's try the empathy. This is reading people and talking to them and trying to figure out where Jess.
Empathy of 2, and do I still get the +2?
Yeah, and the difficulty is going to be a 3. No, it's not. The +2 from the occult's not going to work.
Didn't
Because,
think so.
yeah, This is going to be a difficulty 3, though, because everybody knows Jess. She is one of the popular people on campus. So
Ouch.
Hold it!
Go on.
Remember my friends?
Yes. Are you spending a fate point?
Yes.
Okay.
And and the specific explanation is, I hate to use a mundane explanation, but I think Jess might have a virus.
Oh, okay. So you're talking to your gamer friends to find Jess that you think she's sick and needs to talk to the nurse or doctor. Yeah. Okay. Or
I just want to make sure I'm right before I bring it up.
Yeah. Or, fungus. Because you definitely wouldn't want any grave moss up. That's where ghouls come from. That would be a bad thing to bring into a Demon Next Door campaign. Yes, let's bring the ghoul zombie apocalypse to the Slice of Life campaign. Well, it's not instant. It usually takes a couple weeks. Anyway. Yeah. Anyway, on to this campaign. Okay, so that will make that a fair success. So you've got a monster success, which is being applied to. I gave that to your booth, and you've got a partial success. The last one's going to be perception.
Let's see, +3. None of my other stuff will work.
There isn't even really much aspect she has that this works with. And that is, you can succeed with costs, or you can fail.
Since we need to move things forwards, I will succeed with cost.
Yeah. Okay. Which, actually, you would have seen her even if you failed, but this way you get to see something else. You see, I'm assuming Chiyoko, so I'm going to go back over to Chiyoko. Your Dima's coming up on this thing where near the host cafe as Chiyoko sees Jess darting between a couple booths. Chiyoko, what are you doing?
In this case, it's time to. I think we should. Yeah, I'm going to check on her if I can actually keep up with her.
Okay.
So I will approach her and ask her. So, now that we're away from all of these people, what's wrong?
Okay, go ahead and give me an athletics roll real quick. Not athletics, agility. Agility. I'm thinking the wrong system when I said athletic. This is what happens when you roll too many systems at the same time. Anyway, go ahead and give me an agility roll, and I'll go get into that.
Calling out right now.
Okay.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh.
Play.
Whew. Whew. Oh. Ouch.
Well done. So much for that idea.
You are still in pursuit of her. You haven't caught her yet. You haven't lost her either, but you are still in pursuit of her. Okay? And this is kind of, I'm hopscotching what you call a contest. Actually, I think
it's not my job.
I'm going to stop real quick here and set this up. You dart after her. Ima, you see Chiyoko dart after Jess between two booths. And then you see some older guy, mid-30s, scraggly looking, conspiracy theorist type, kind of coming in a few yards behind Chiyoko, heading into the same area.
Oh, snap.
Okay. Hold on one second. I confess that I lagged during the middle of that.
Okay. This is what's happening. We're setting up a contest here. What happens with a contest is the first person to 3 victories wins. I'm going to disregard these 2 rolls. We're going to start again. The first person to 3 successes 3 victories wins.
Okay.
And they get the thing. What happened was Jess darted between 2 booths. Chiyoko saw her and darted between the same two booths after her. You saw them, and behind them you saw some other guy about mid-30s going after them. Scraggly conspiracy theorist-looking guy. Actually, roll me a knowledge.
Knowledge. Let's see.
And I'll just no real. Give me a difficulty 3. I guess.
Huh, I make it.
Okay, we're.
Dun, 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 dun.
Of course that would happen.
3. Okay, you recognize him from his podcast. This is Corbin Belenos, who's going out one of those looking for the truth types. He's a really shady, not quite trustworthy type, and his theories on the occult are all wrong. You've said so on his website several times. But
Well, first,
yeah.
Would I have to spend a fate point to have a cell phone on me?
No, that's just basic. Basic.
Text the other two party members to explain the situation, then rush after them.
You're going to call Clint and Alexei, say that shady conspiracy theorist guy is after Chiyoko and Jess?
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay. So.
Well, text them.
Okay, got it. Now, this is what's going to happen is we're going to do a contest. Okay, you can. Everybody is going to be rolling whichever ability they think would add to their ability to accomplish their goals. The goal of Jess is to get the hell away from everybody. The goal of Chiyoko is to get in contact, catch up to Jess. The goal of the reporter is to catch up to Jess. The goal of Dima is to catch up to Jess and help him with the reporter guy. And I'm assuming the goal of Alexei and Clint is to find out where everybody is, track them down, and get there at the same time. Sound appropriate?
Okay, let's see.
So the first roll, and you can make a maneuver before, but if you fail the maneuver, you don't get to roll the actual contest roll, which could make you fall behind on the victory scale.
Okay, so Clint practically wants to find out what the hell is going on around him while he was in that fight.
The other way I could do this is I could put all 4 of you on one thing. One of you rolling contests, the other 3 rolling maneuvers to help that person. With the
Okay, so what we're all seeing Jess running around, and we're trying to
get to her and figure out what the hell's going on. This is now the Scooby-Doo chase scene with the doors.
I was about to say that, actually. Alright.
Okay.
I was thinking Benny
Okay,
Hill.
my rolling luck is pretty bad, so I just probably do the maneuver, I think.
Okay.
I think I'm actually going to be doing good with maneuvers because I think I can control the robots quite well to help, if not capture, then most certainly corner her.
Yeah, and
I was actually thinking the best thing the robots could do would be provide scouting.
Yep.
They're presumably tall.
Exactly. Scouting and helping to corner her.
So we got scouting robots. What maneuver are you pulling, Clint? Are you mobilizing your gang? Not real gang, your high school gang.
Not a real gang, a West Side Story gang.
Yeah.
Actually, I could even, well, I'm thinking about it. I should actually call them my friends again to tell them, get that girl.
Well,
Wait till you see Dima's maneuver.
There's also the shady.
I know mine.
There's also the reported shady what do you call it, reporter guy. Yeah. I replaced my crucifix recently, and unfortunately I couldn't find a good wooden one, so I got this old.
Shiny.
Cool.
Okay. Go on. And what is Dima's maneuver going to be?
I'm going to use deception with
Yep.
geek speak, which I used in a scene,
New scene.
to put a negative maneuver on the reporter
Oh, got it.
by simply telling everyone that I think some creepy reporter is gonna slander our school or something, and he's chasing after Jess.
Oh,
She touched my breasts.
by the way, the cost you took is 2 points of social stress. When you did the successful cost, I didn't. I should have said that at the time. That was Dima. So Dima has 2 points of social stress.
Fair.
I don't think anybody has gotten a consequence yet, but that's fine. The point is to have fun, not to have consequences. Consequences are sometimes fun. Okay, so that
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't know that even in the
Okay.
Dresden Files RPG, very rarely do you get the consequence of, dying or anything.
no,
Most you get knocked.
yeah, dying in Fate is very hard to do accidentally, which is good because dead characters mean paperwork and introducing new characters.
Yeah.
Okay, and generally with Demon Next Door campaign, my general suggestion is to not go above moderate consequences, since most people are going to give up when they say moderate consequences. Anyway, Micah, how is Chiyoko doing this pursuit? Are you doing the athletics, or the agility? How is she doing it? You can try to
Should I have rolled already?
You can use whatever stat you think you can reasonably result into trying to catch up with Jess.
Mitch, I'm gonna use commends.
Well, obviously you have to use agility to catch up. But at the same time, I'm pretty sure that now's the opportunity to shout ahead and persuade her to slow down. Especially if I casually use a fate point in too pretty to hurt. I'm not.
Okay. Okay. So now what we're doing is we've got Clint and his buddies hurting, and the robot. We're doing the robot scouting first. Clint and his buddies hurting her. Dima putting obstructions in front of the creepy guy, and then we're going to roll to see if you get a chance to talk to her alone. Or the first roll anyway. So everybody, please roll for me. Let's see, persuasion. Craft, persuasion, and deception. So we'll start with craft and the robots.
All right. So this is going to be another 6, right?
Yes.
All right.
It's easy to get powerful characters.
Oh.
Legendary.
That is 2 tags. That means you have scouting robots with 2 tags. Now, this is a thing because normally you can only use an aspect once per roll.
Uh-huh.
But if you have tags, you can use however many tags are on that aspect all at once.
Ooh. So now I got 2 tags to use on
Scouty robots, but that's going to be going towards helping Chiyoko. The character won't know about it, but she can apply it to her role, either this role or the next one, or later on within this contest, because it's going to cut off Jess's approaches, and people doing maneuvers can use them as well if they want. Though that's generally going to be trading a fate point for a fate point.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, so all right. So those two points can go to her. Yeah, so that'll be perfect. Perfect.
Okay. So now we're going to go towards Clint and your herding buddies.
Alright, my idea was to actually help prevent the reporters from doing anything stupid, because you know you can also ask them what's about with them, and I'm gonna use strength for that because this is gonna get violent.
You're going to go actually confront the reporter. I'll let you do that. Go ahead.
Strong on
Go ahead.
a reporter.
Yeah.
Okay, do I get any bonuses from my friends? Because they count as... Wait, I had...
If you spend a fate point after the fact, then you can. Basically, spending a fate point means your friends are helping you.
Well, if I even need them, because I have an actual exceptional skill aspect, and this is boxing classes every week, which apparently counts into strength as well.
Well, you're not going to be actually... actually, I can throw... At this point, I wouldn't actually be doing any combative things. This is more getting up to the point where you're all combating. So...
Okay, well,
so it's leading.
Rella, shall I roll agility instead? Simply just persuade them?
Or persuasion. You can roll persuasion on your cadre of buddies to put a tag on cadre of buddies so that you can use it for free. Yes.
Alright. Well, then we shall keep the comments up for later.
Okay.
I know.
You have a tag on cadre of bullies. So I'm going to note that. Buddies, not bullies.
Cool.
Bully
Yeah,
buddies!
Generally, what I assume is if they're PCs, they're more or less the best versions of themselves. If they're NPCs, they can get a little bit jerky or doormatty, depending on the character.
That's fair, actually.
Anyway, so you got your cadre of buddies with one tag on it, which means you can use it for free, or somebody else can use it for free in this contest if they need help. And then we go on to Dima.
Call my friends if you need help.
Yeah. There has been a lot of mobilizing of friends in this. Go on.
Friendship is magic.
Yes. No. What is it? The power of friendship. This is Divine Blood. We have precious puppies instead of My Little Pony.
Yeah, he actually made sure to have a My Little Pony thing that he could legally use.
Well,
Hell collects precious puppies.
Yes, Hell collects precious puppies. The god demoness Hell collects precious puppies. That's what her focus short story is about. She goes to a precious puppy mini convention, for lack of a better word.
And don't forget the reveal about Hell. May I spoil it?
Go ahead.
She's afraid of ghosts. The queen.
Man.
This is why I think Thrith and Wraith would do well together.
Yes.
If it wasn't for the Team
Quite
America
so.
principle,
Well.
which I'm not allowed to explain in this chat.
Yeah, the reason for Hell's Sphere of Ghosts
Because of redacted.
go into a lot of backstory, which I have not revealed yet.
I think he gives away at least one basic.
Yeah.
Which is, in the present, her powers are now nerfed.
Yes.
Anyway, +6 roll.
Yeah. Which is a 4. Okay, that's enough to get the general difficulty on maneuvers is a 3. So you have enough to get not a minimal lynch mob against the reporter.
And we're practically...
So right now, everyone else is going for the reporter while I'm going
So
for
it's
Jack.
less a lynch mob than more like one guy who's taking off his tie.
And they all have torches suddenly, and forks.
They have British torches.
Mobilized
got lighters.
crowd again. Oh, no!
They got lighters, forks, and the one guy has a tie.
I have a perfect idea for you. You could go to one of the 2 other reporters on site.
That's actually decent.
You want to go to the ambitious wannabe investigative journalist, or the pillar of the community Willard Scott type guy?
Oh.
My vote is for the latter.
Positive, ambitious, negative pillar of the community. Ambitious.
Okay.
Alright.
Oh.
So you're going to go, you find and talk to Miki Kwan and say that there's some guy creeping around here. And I recognize him from this podcast. And these kind of little things go into her eye, and she starts going off after him. So Miki Kwan mobilized. Kwan mobilized.
As she runs off, I say, and do you know what is going on?
Yeah.
So I'm now chasing after Mickey Kwan.
Miki Kwan, yeah. Okay, and Chioko, you get to roll your persuasion now. And you have a mountain of things because she does not have. She's going to roll her initiative, her agility. So her roll is a 1. You have to beat a 1. If you beat it by 3, you get 2 victories.
Invest the money in a fitness trainer. You can
Persuasion
Call
+2 and
And
Come
what?
on, let's see.
Torben.
Let's see. Come on. Go,
Can
Micah.
Can I mention the strange rashes to get a +2 from occult?
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, Torben only got a
Fail.
3. That's 1 success for you. Unless you want to spend some of your many free tags that you've accumulated, your friends have accumulated. If you spend 1 tag, you succeed with spin and get 2 victories.
You can always
Yeah,
call my
I'll
friends
spend
to
the-
become a living shield of
Scouter.
them.
Okay.
Yeah, that's sort of the first one that I'm going to spend here.
But you're spending it from the free pool. There are
Yeah.
existing. The itchy rash is against you. You can't use it. You can't use the tag. I haven't used it yet, but I should have.
Huh.
Thinking about it.
Magic. Well, we're having fun. That's the important thing. Anyway,
Mhm.
there are a total of 4 free tags that you can use to give you a +2 without spending your fate points.
And one of them it could be the scouting robot, right?
Yeah, one of them could be the scouting robot, but that would reduce the scouting robot from 2 tags to 1 tag. And the way you have it right now, you could use 2. Well, it doesn't really matter. You have so many tags. Do you want to reduce? You could do a scouting robot, cadre of buddies, or Mika Kwan mobilized. You can spend a point from any one of those 3. There's 4 points to be had. You don't spend your own fate points. It just basically means she sees one of those things and goes in a different direction that makes it easier for you to catch up with her and get to where she can hear you.
I will use the. I'll take a shot from the one off the robot since they have 2.
Okay, got it. And next, so you have 2 victories, and neither Jess nor Torben got a victory. But right now, the PCs have 2 victories. Okay,
Ching.
We're winning.
next round of thing. Do you guys want to do a full set of maneuvers, or do you want to just have him go and do another contest move and use the ones you already have? Because all he needs is 1 more success.
I think we should be fine with 2 more tags.
Okay.
Even if he fails to the point that he has -4, it shouldn't be that detrimental.
I confess that I want Dima to at least roll agility,
Okay.
just in case, not as part of her own individual thing to see if she can actually keep up with everyone, if
Okay.
that's necessary.
Okay, go ahead and do that.
2.
2. You're not going to be able to keep up. Oh, yeah. You're not going to. Oh, yeah, 2. You're probably not going to be able to keep up with Chioko and Jess, but you probably are going to be able to keep up with the mess that is Mika and Torben.
So, in the middle of the Ranma 1/2 style chase scene, but I'm like a little bit in the back.
Yeah.
You know the movie I'm talking about, I assume.
Oh, yes, number one, the first movie, yes. Pig from Hell, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Slight
Yes, I do.
slight digression. One of my favorite things from all the Ranma 1/2 movies is the guy using the depression move on Ryoga.
I confess I forget that moment.
Shishihokudan!
In all honesty, as soon as Ukyo heard the description of that attack, she should have been booking it out of the room.
Yeah.
I confess
Probably.
I need to re-see this scene. I read depression attacks in the manga, but I forget that part in the movie.
Shishihokudan.
It's not the first movie, it's the second movie. There is a monkey guy that has a special attack that puts people into the deepest depths of their depression.
Oh god, no! Oh, then you can see where the hell that's gonna go.
I have the Clerks 2 face! You know the scene!
And he decides to use it on Ryoga.
Oh god.
Did Yukio know about Ryoga's special attack?
I don't know. I don't know, but
no.
all
Actually,
of
I don't think so.
Narima does. I would have thought all of Narima did. So
They should.
anybody from Narima hearing, I have this special attack, they'll put you in the deepest depths of your depression, Ryoga!
Run!
That is probably what caused the Crystal Tokyo incident,
Yeah.
and I will tell you later about my fanfic.
So we practically derailed the entire fair already by mobilizing everybody into a mob against these guys.
Okay,
So yes, I'm like in a Ranma 1/2 mob.
okay.
Yeah.
Chiyoko, roll your whichever agility, persuasion, or whatever you're trying to get her to stop and talk to her. I'm going to roll her.
Yep, it was agility.
Okay, I'm going to roll. Where are you, Jess? There you are. I have too many tabs open. I'm going to roll her empathy just to make it a little bit of a challenge for her trying to read where you're going. And that's a 3. So,
Ouch.
but she doesn't have all the tags you do.
Ow!
You have 3 tags. You can still get up to a 6. Or you can fail and she gets a victory. If you use all 3 of your tags, you get a 3rd victory. You're having your little one-on-one with Jess, while other people are crunching knuckles to talk to Torben.
I'm about to say, right now I'm going to skip past missiles and more missiles and push all the missiles button.
All the missiles.
Let's get that 3rd victory.
So you're chasing. This is what's what's happening here. You're calling after her, and I'll let you role play out the words you used in a little bit here. But everything you're saying, you're being right behind her, calling her out. She's trying to read which way to go. Every time she gets to a part where she's about to go back out into some other part, this mob of people comes rushing by, and she goes, ah, and goes the other way.
That definitely sounds like a Ranma 1/2 mob.
I will. Where did the giant robot come from?
We've almost got everybody to chase them after all.
Yeah. Okay.
That escalated quickly.
Anyway, so you have successfully done that. Go ahead and roleplay what you're saying before we get up to actually roleplay what you're calling out after her. Say what Chiyoko is calling out.
Just one time.
Please, microphone, please don't abandon us.
Oh, damn it.
I kissed a girl and I liked it.
I'm just trying to talk. I'm hiring a personal trainer.
Here, we hear you. Okay. That was great.
It might be easier on you if you just, disable camera so it doesn't lag your computer so much.
It looks like that's what he's done. Okay. Now, she's kind of glances over her shoulder at you, kind of turning away. Just don't look at me. It's weird. And as you're watching, there's this sort of flickering hologram-ish thing around her, and for a moment you see, outline of bat-like wings, tail, that kind of thing, and then it vanishes. Because it's a demonic girl illusion is a defensive response, and she's freaking out, so it's triggering. It's completely an illusion, not physical at all. But that's what Chioko sees, is for a very brief moment, the demon girl wings and tail.
Mika?
Are we losing people here?
We're getting to within 30 minutes of my end time, so yeah.
Oh, we just have like 30 minutes left?
Well, we're out at the end of the scenario too.
Well, we gotta find out it was all just a dream.
Something... I think Mika had something happen again.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm here.
You're here?
Okay, good. Awesome.
Hey!
Yeah.
You want to respond to... She's saying, just please don't look at me. Something's weird. Or do you want to go to have everybody else go to beating up Torben real quick? Whichever one you...
It's like, I'm just going to casually sit... I'm just going to
Let's try to be quiet so we don't...
You need to talk to... But it's just, sit her down. You need to talk to somebody, and it might as well be me, because I won't tell anyone else anything about this.
And...
Worth it.
Are you sure? And she kind of turns around and looks at you. And the parts of her eyes that in most people would be white is lavender, and her pupil is like a four-pointed star. Actually,
And Chieko has really wide eyes right now.
Yep. Let's see if I...
Both impressed and somewhat disturbed.
Yeah. Okay. Do you guys want to role-play the beat-down Torben scene, or the scene where he gets kicked off the campus? Do you want to role-play that out now, or do you want to just assume it happens?
Roleplay them
I
all.
almost kind of want to play that with my robot.
One thing Dima does,
Yep.
as soon as she gets close, what the heck is actually going on?
Well, when you get close, Mika is getting in his face and interviewing him. Is it true that you're going around harassing students here? Some sort of stalker type thing. She's got her tape recorder out, kind of doing the whole heart, won't leave him alone, keeps in front of him the entire time. Meanwhile, you can see from the corners, it looks like a bunch of Clint's tough guy buddies gathering from the corners, bringing and directing Clint, saying, "Hey, there's the guy you were looking for."
Dima now changes her mind about the question and just scoots slowly away. Then pauses for a second.
Slowly.
I think I have discovered a power greater even than magic. I must not abuse this.
You've discovered the power of Mika Kwan?
And just general usness.
Yeah.
It's just one of those.
Okay.
Dima.
I quite frankly don't know how we did this, but it scares me.
Well,
You
I guess
discovered the power of nerds in large numbers.
Yes.
I guess
Yes.
Clint steps out of the mob and just goes like,
You obviously
Why
forget
did
that
you
Ghost and
call
Cookie and the
us?
nerd clubs in Ranma 1/2.
Why did you what?
Why did you call us? This is the last time. I'm going to block your fucking phone number on my phone. This is not going to happen
Okay.
again.
Yes.
Jess ran screaming.
Yeah.
Chico's trying to stop her. The reporter's chasing after her. We're chasing after the reporter. Rumiko Takahashi would pay money for this.
Yeah. And Mika's sitting here pointing the recorder at all the students talking.
Alright, so my robot's scouting right now, so
Yeah.
should I be doing anything?
If you want to come in and watch this, you can, or if you want to have your character show up at Chioko's, that's good as well. At the moment, Chioko, you see something not human. And apparently, as far as you know, the only person you know that knows anything about this occult stuff is Dima. Clint, are you rolling a mental attack against Torben? Or a social attack? Excuse me. This is probably more a social attack since you're attacking his reputation.
Against who?
Torben.
The reporter jerk.
Ah, the reporter jerk. Sure. What shall I roll?
It sounds like you're rolling. I think this is either be deception or persuasion, depending on how you want to play it. Either one would work.
Thinking.
And it looks like better for you would be persuasion.
Yeah.
Okay. And I know you don't get to use your strength much in this scenario, but oh well. Sorry.
It works.
Yeah. Go ahead and roll me your persuasion, and I'm going to roll his persuasion since he's got to resist. His persuasion
currently.
is oh god.
Oh, drats.
What are you even doing here?
Oh, success!
What is your use in this entire place?
Okay. I will tell right now, if you spend a fate point and you can spend it on any of a number of things that go towards attacking his credibility that exist right now, including presence of Mika, he will take a consequence.
Alright, I shall. I have enough. I have, like, I think 3 fate points.
Okay. I'm going to say 3. You're going to spend 3 fate points?
But no, I mean, I spent 1 out of the, like, 3.
I was about to say you're pretty much going to force a takeout on him.
I forced him to suicide.
Nah, he just faints.
No. A takeout socially would be things like go to jail.
Oh.
Yeah, he's about to.
Help! He touched my breast!
Thanks.
Yes, it is. The social consequence he is going to be taking is he's going to be showing up in Mika Kwan's expose of pedophile at the fundraiser.
I feel bad a little about that.
Yeah, he's about to have the whole anime turn to stone thing.
Yeah. Which I don't want to make light of that, but in context, it's funny. Okay.
Yeah, the PG-13 line was somewhere over there.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Anyway, that's the consequence you just gave him. Is he's being negatively described in Mika Kwan's story, which she hopes is going to get her noticed as a serious investigative journalist, instead of somebody who takes random anonymous tips from teenagers.
Well, good news is she could probably get a job at insert whichever news network you disagree with.
Yeah.
I'm not going to name which one.
Yes.
That's called media. Most of them are.
Yeah, media sucks.
News network here.
Insert news network here.
That's actually a major plot point in the other novel I like, Prolecto.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, that's what you did. You get to watch him escorted off campus by security, including your teacher, Coach Brandon, whatever I gave his name. Coach Brandon, yeah, I was right. Without looking up.
Well, Clint always has a solution to all this mess, and this is, you know what? Can't we just ask our princess for money?
What about the forget about the fundraiser? We'll just ask Chiyoko for money.
Dima decides to go see what's going on with Plot B.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean Plot A.
So Chiyoko, the only person you know that knows anything about this occult stuff is that you're friends with, sort of, is Dima. There is that. Yeah. There is that girl who claims she's a magician, but she's a little bit weird, and you don't know her that well. You know Dima.
The only person I have any sort of association with, even as of late, is Dima.
Yeah. That you know knows about the occult, because you've never been told by Clint that he's not all human.
Actually, to bring it up, are Lemurians public knowledge?
All the parents that have their issue, but I don't like them.
No, Supernatural is not public knowledge. They're working on making it public knowledge, and there are a lot more believers than in our own world. But it is not public knowledge. Governments know about the supernatural, but they don't know the extent.
Okay.
For that matter, Nirvana and Yomi don't realize how many supernaturals there are out there. So.
Question.
Yep.
Kaijus, are they a thing?
Clint is the mother FNG Reds.
I would refer to you to the Smoke Over Grimsvoten story, short story, in which Leela 2 steals a nameless thing. There are things on the level of kaiju. They're mostly sealed right now. That is one of the things that's going to be hitting the fan once stuff hits the fan, and there's less people to keep an eye out for nameless things.
All right, yeah, sure.
But they have not shown up in thousands of years.
Fair
so
enough.
no, this is not Godzilla.
Right.
Yes.
You curse! Why are you stepping on my dreams?
And Luska Kraken has not been released yet, so we don't get Krakenzilla around here.
On the plus side, you do get Gundam fights.
Yay!
Yep.
Or custom robo. I can make do with custom robo.
No, these are full-fledged Gundam fights.
They're okay. The Middle East conflict that we have in real life never developed. There's a conglomeration of Arabic, or actually, well, it's mostly Arabic, but Jewish, Christian, Islam. The North African Alliance is one of the big free world countries. Where the 10 years of America has been fighting is Czechoslovakia and East Germany.
Huh.
With Gundams.
Yes.
With Gundams.
There was also, in the 60s, instead of Vietnam, you had the Empire of Burma pressing out.
I think at that point, though, it'd be more Chrome Hounds than Gundams.
It's more Full Metal Panic, and I hesitate to say that because people will read and say, hey, the first novel is a lot. But
whatever.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right, so let's stop derailing ourselves.
Yes. So I assume Dima gets there?
Dima gets there or Chiyoko finds her. Since that's the next move, we don't really want to roll for it since that would cause bog.
I know.
So, Chiyoko, do you guys want to find Dima, or Dima, do you want to find them?
I'd say let's just split the difference and they meet halfway.
Okay. So they just about collide going around the same corner.
Dima's first words?
Oh, it's...
I just got a guy arrested. I don't know if I should feel bad about this.
Shioko's first words. Shioko's first words. Oh, it's you. I don't know your name.
Dima. I will also accept
Right.
crazy occult chick.
Oh,
Perfect.
is she the friend that you said you wanted to take me to see?
Sure.
Okay.
I knew she had thing to do with, or she could help, but
So, Jess.
Yes, right now her eyes look normal. Go ahead, actually roll me your sensitive, which I believe is 0 on you.
Sensitive is, yes, 0.
So go ahead and roll that, please. Hers isn't that much better.
Oh.
I am now officially a null.
What?
Brilliant.
You actually...
You know what I like about this?
Yep.
With only this small of a range compared to D20s, it still manages an incredible amount of epic successes and epic fails.
Yeah, that's
And you
true.
can actually do something about it.
That's cool. Yeah.
yes, and by an even worse one.
I'll confess, if MSFS High didn't use Wraith's system, I would think it would fit well with Fate. Anyway, so what's the result?
So you're watching her and you see a flicker where, for a moment, the image of her eyes that you expect to see, the brown, the kind of vaguely greenish eyes that she's had ever since you've known her, that are real kind of stand out because, well, succubus, and they take the best, they build themselves to the best traits out of everybody's images. But you see through that to the, for a moment, that's kind of transparent, and behind that you see the lavender sclera and the 4-starred pupils.
All right.
That is awesome.
My special eyes. My brand.
So you saw through the illusion. The illusion is there, but you can tell it's an illusion.
No, Demon Zenkier says, that is awesome.
What are you talking about?
She doesn't know
Nope.
she's doing it.
No,
Or does she?
she doesn't know she's doing it. That's
That
entirely.
was actually even the thing. It's like, she doesn't know she's doing it.
And I'll let Demon know the term Akira, and pop out with a loud declaration. You're an Akira. So
Oh, you're an Akira?
I don't know what that means.
It means someone who can actually do the stuff I try to do.
And it's like, it's like, explanation?
Okay, go ahead and roll for me knowledge, please. Oh, any result with occult should apply.
Okay. Is this a new scene?
Well, geek speak won't apply to knowledge. That's just persuasion and deception.
But the +4 does.
+4?
No, +2.
Yes, +2. Yes. Okay.
And
Ouch.
hold on, I've got one fate.
Actually, that +2 is a social convincing people socially. So no, it doesn't apply.
Ouch. So you're 0.
Yeah. Sorry about that. So, now,
can I at least mitigate any failures with my last fate point?
Yes, you can.
With open-minded to the existence of strange things.
Okay, and I'll let you. That's see. That takes you to a 4.
No, it took you to a +2.
+2. Okay. I'll let you succeed with cost, and the cost is going to be a mental stress.
That's perfectly understandable, as I'm working against my other aspect.
It's going to be it's actually going to be 3 mental stress.
And ouch.
Which I think is still you can handle. Yeah, your mental stress is 4.
Yes, but I took 2 earlier.
Yes, but that means your 2 box and your 4 box are full. But you still have the 1 and the 3.
Hold on.
Huh?
Okay, this is like Dresden RPG.
Yes, but I don't remember Dresden RPG's system. I haven't played it in a year.
Okay, so though the social stress, the stress you took earlier was social stress. It was a different track. For one thing.
Oh yes, that's correct. I miscalculated.
Also, your stress track I'm doing in the chat thing looks like this: 0, 0, 0, 0. That first box is 1 point. The second box is 2 points. The third box is 3 points. Fourth box is 4 points. So when you take 4 things of stress, you look like 0, 0, 0, X. Because the problem being is if you take...
You have to fill all of them.
You have to fill all of them.
That was the part I forgot about Dresden.
Or, no, what you have to do is take so much stress you can't reduce it below what you can already take.
Example, if I took a 4 stress hit and another 4 stress hit...
You'd have to take a 4 and then a 3 and a 1.
No. If he takes another 4, it upgrades to a 5, which means
exactly.
It's still more stress. He can't take a 5, but still for stress, he would have to take a consequence to avoid taking the stress up past what he can't take. If you get the stress up past what he can't take, he is quote unquote taken out, which is where you can get dead, captured, arrested,
faints,
bad stuff.
Or
so essentially
just mentally snap.
Yeah.
Actually, one of the example mental conflict in the main book is a confrontation between 3 bullies and a daughter of Bast, and ends with the bully having a nervous breakdown.
Oof.
Well, anime nervous breakdown, not real nervous breakdown.
Yeah, it was an I'm a terrible person breakdown.
Oh, anyway, it's like the whole dark cloud hanging over his head and poking at the ground.
Yeah, exactly. Or, the way I'd think of it, foaming at the mouth, fall over.
Yeah. In the example, she ran away crying. Like, I'm a terrible person! Ah! And her bully girls followed her.
So I assume I'm able to exposition.
Yes.
Akira is a person with unknown psychic abilities.
More than that, and the reason you got the stress, you've just realized from some older books you've read that you're looking at a succubus.
Okay. So, what do I have to roll another knowledge to figure out?
No, that's why I had you roll the knowledge to begin with. I'll let you decide what Dima thinks about succubi. What I will say is most of the reputation for them being sex demons and seducers and all that came from after the purges, when they were not quite what everybody thinks of as extinct, but they got reduced so low in population that they didn't have any communities to protect themselves. So you got several succubi being taken in as slaves and picking up archetypes that are somewhat unsavory as they're growing up. So
Well then.
you don't know that. Hardly anybody is aware of that. There's some experts in the actual community that theorize that, but most people don't look into it because most people assume succubi are extinct.
So, okay, I don't know how to put this, but you're a succubus.
And at that,
Move.
she's going to faint, and we're at 10 minutes.
Yep, you said it.
We're at
You
10
said it.
to 2. And at this point, I would usually do the another contest, one for each of you, to get different titles on the booth. But we don't really have time to do four contests with other booths. So
And let's be fair, functionally, the parts that we care about are over.
yes.
Yep.
Now, if this were to be done as a campaign thing, I would actually stretch this out over several sessions. Whenever you're running a convention game or a one-shot, the story gets compressed.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. We
For
are
instance,
testing this
as I
after all.
pointed out, the main antagonist didn't get a single line.
Yeah.
That's
Just
part of
labeled a
what
pedophile.
finds hilarious.
Just labeled a pedophile and just
Oh.
shamed out of the whole carnival, whatever it is.
Yeah.
She's actually going to try to figure out if there's any possible way she can get exposition from him.
I guess.
I will say at this point afterwards, and I don't know whether we haven't established whether Clint's mom is. I know she's a demon, but we haven't established whether she's Nirvana or Yomi allied. Clint, do you have an idea on that? Yomi would be where demons started, and Nirvana would be heaven. Your mother could be a defector and living in heaven, or she could be a regular citizen of Yomi.
Well, I would assume she'd be a regular citizen because she simply works, as a bakery person.
She does-
Baker.
She doesn't have a strong enough opinion of either one. Too. Yeah, makes sense.
Yep.
Okay. Well then, it's likely that if Dima mentions Jess being a succubus to Sonia afterwards, that your first response was, "But they're extinct."
They're
Long
extinct,
pause.
almost like the dinosaurs, except for those that later evolved
They're like
into
the
demons.
dinosaurs.
How do
Or
you
dodos.
know that?
They're like dinosaurs, or dodos, or George Jetson.
And we're gonna. You can say because Morgan killed them all.
Long pause. Apparently, I know nothing, and I need to go cry now.
Sorry, Sonia.
Confused before. Now
Dima
she's
takes
confused
5
both
mental
mentally
stress.
and sexually.
Sorry, Sonia. Or Zoe. You probably would have known that one of the 7 purges that targeted succubi would have been Morrigan, the goddess of bloodshed.
Well, Clint can only say that this is pretty interesting.
Well.
That just escalated quickly.
Well,
He thought
now,
that we were just going to run a fair here.
I have to say now, Darkstalkers now all of a sudden in this universe sounds like a big slap to the face.
Yes.
To both sides, I think.
Oh, Morrigan is one of the repentant purges. Fortunately, she would consider it as part of her punishment. She actually works as a cop now.
Huh.
Then,
But it would
Does
the
she get likeness rights?
It would be a punishment if she got paid for it.
I will have to make some sort of commentary in that regards.
Oh,
when the gods and demons go
That
public.
would be a fun short story of just all the mythological creatures getting together and talking about their portrayals in traditional stuff and in modern media.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have no idea how Medusa would feel about any of this. She ranges from drop dead gorgeous to ugly as sin.
Well, that depends. Oh, sorry, go on.
So
Mitch.
yeah, basically they're in a bar.
Yeah. I don't know what Mitch was about to say, but Gorgons were one of the races that a backer suggested I put in as a reward. So Gorgons are a thing. They appear in human bloodlines occasionally. They don't always express through their entire life. They might stay looking human their entire life. But Gorgons are a thing. And if they do express, one of their shapeshifters, they're emotional shapeshifters. So whether they're attractive or ugly depends on their state of mind.
So,
Oh god.
it is not just a saying that she looks beautiful to you because you're in love.
No.
So basically, they have a canonical game face.
Yes.
Yeah. And not all of them can do the petrifying gaze. Some can. Some can do healing. But all of them are shapeshifters, and their shapeshifting gets more effective the more extreme their emotion.
So do not get on the bad side of a Medusa.
Yeah. Then you're going to
So
you're going to
get on the
good side. If you're going to get on the good side, you can get up to the really flexible boyfriend/girlfriend, depending on their gender, all the way towards where'd the Merilith come from? On the,
So was Medusa just a popular Gorgon, or is she a giant mythological figure, or what?
I'd say she was a terribly lonely, terribly angry, pissy Gorgon.
I'm not entirely. I think she'd be at the very early ages of the Gorgons. What happened with Gorgons was Alexander came through, thought he wiped them out, took in a bunch of the human women slaves that were there, what he thought were human women, but the way the Gorgon thing expresses it kind of pops up, skips generations and all that. And he took those slaves with him to India, and from there that bloodline went to China, from there to Russia, and Japan, and pretty much the Gorgon bloodline is all throughout the world.
Just doesn't always pop
Could have
up.
been worse. They could have been captured by Genghis Khan.
Oh, they ended
Oh
up...
no.
That's after
It would be a
Alexander.
1 in 10% chance.
But there's also a heavy theory that a lot of the Nagas, because Nagas bred themselves out of existence because they thought humans were cute, and human genetics is more aggressive.
Ooh.
Oh, damn.
So it is thought that a lot of the shape-shifting and the original Gorgons came from therianthropes that had learned a snake form rather than a wolf form. So Gorgons are this weird thing that descend from sentient snakes, sentient wolves, and sentient apes.
Well then.
Which is fine.
Well,
Lemurians, the deep ones, are a mix of god, demon, and human, which means they're ape, whale, and dinosaur. But yeah.
I think we are soon to
Darwin's
closing
head
time, right?
probably would have exploded if he'd seen Divine Blood.
Yeah.
Alright, so are we more or less just chilling out since we're more or less done, or are we continuing
I
on?
think
Yeah. Go on.
theoretically we'd have a wrap up, except honestly the she faints thing was a perfect ending line.
It
is.
It is, yes. That's why I wanted
And
to
it's like, it's sort of funny. She faints. It's like, let's see, where is everybody right now? Jess is passed out.
Yep, Jess is passed.
Alexi is playing giant robot mecha hero or whatever with his toy.
Kyoko is hearing that that the girl she might possibly have a crush on, though she hasn't admitted so yet, isn't human.
The real game.
Dima just realized that the head knows more about this stuff than she does.
Uh-oh.
That must mean something.
So she's probably going to... Well, the first thing she's going to ponder is, does this money technically belong to the club or me? Secondly, I could actually afford a PS4.
Flynn still thinks the best idea is to ask the rich girl to just, give some money to the school. Because this fair was a complete blow.
No, we actually won most profitable. Not the robot booth.
Yeah. And just so everybody knows, this is the Kickstarter that I'm the campaign book that I'm working. All the gameplay has been play tested. Most of the book has been written. The only things I'm waiting to write on are stuff I'm offering as backer awards. I only have about a little bit more than 10% of what I need. I need 3,000. I've got 310, and 21 days to go. So this was partially, mostly really, to give a demonstration of what the gameplay is like, what the kind of scenarios that I'm being focused on here. I gave some demonstration of the self-inflicted social stress mechanic that we played with in playtesting.
Which was really a nice and reasonable system, actually, and especially the especially self-inflicted social and mental stress.
Yeah.
Really could be used in more games because it's nice to have a system for you blow your own mind.
Yeah.
That's true.
A lot of the time,
hey.
A lot of the times, what? Oops, shoot! I did not want to show that. Okay, a lot of the times, what Fate does, and it's too late now. But a lot of times, what Fate does for self-inflicted things is it shows that it does that failure at cost thing. But sometimes the tactics that player I mentioned tried were just so clearly self-destructive that I had to say, succeed or fail, you're going to have to test. You need to make sure you didn't screw your reputation over with that.
I'll be honest, the only thing you really need is just a bigger audience to see this, and you'll probably get enough backers and pledges for this to be a success.
Yeah, I'm going to second.
It feels pretty simple, pretty good.
The only thing you need is advertising. What works with the Fate system is it's relatively intuitive once you get past the first thing, and it's simple. Even when you add another, this is like badge something, the core gameplay is just roll a dice, use an aspect.
Right. And I made my design is a hybrid between Strands of Fate, which is a crunchier style of Fate, and Fate Core. Mostly this is because I like a crunchier character generation, and I'm not entirely fond of the skill system that's used in Fate Core, where you have to have so many +1s to get any +2s and so on. It's really counterintuitive to me. It doesn't work for me running it. I
understand. I vaguely remember it from Dresden Files.
Yeah. I've played it. I've enjoyed it. But running it and designing mechanics off of it was a little bit odd. So I used Strands of Fate, which is a little bit different. However, Strands of Fate, while it fits my character creation preferences, has this plethora of subsystems, which they say are optional, but they design everything to use.
So you just took out all the subsystems.
I took out all the subsystems and I used challenge, contest, conflict. Simple. That's what Fate Core does.
And it works.
I feel it
Pretty
works.
much.
I wouldn't mind
The
do.
best part of Fate is it has something that, honestly, in my opinion, MSF High is sort of missing. You can pick up and play this game while you're having beer with friends.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
MSF High
Yeah.
is rather intensive. It's definitely a lot more complex.
I mean, hey, we could play it with like 5 minutes of talking about how to roll, and this was mostly because we had to use a software for it. So yeah, it's
Heck,
pretty
if you're a
quickly.
4 of the minutes was just, see that button? Click it.
Pretty much.
Heck, yeah, and also
I'll tell you.
one of the good things about this is that it just relies on 6-sided die, or maybe if you're feeling different, like maybe just go with a bunch of well, I guess you can't really go with a 3-sided die.
No,
But yeah,
Actually,
6-sided die.
you just all you need to do. There are fate dice that are the minuses and the pluses and the blanks. But all you
True,
need
but if you're lazy or cheap ass, then you can just pilfer from your board games and be like, oh hey, I got all the 6-sided dice I need. 1 and 2 is minus, 3 and 4 is 0, and 5 and 6 is plus.
That is
simple as that.
exactly what Dresden Files says.
And like what you say here, yeah, like exactly. This is what I used when I was doing fate dice. When I was doing the play testing, I used just regular 6-sided dice. 1 to 2 was a minus, 3 to 4 was a 0, and 5 to 6 was a plus. Another way that you can do it is you can roll a 1d6 minus a 1d6, which gives you from -5 to a +5. But
yeah, it works better with the low pluses.
True.
And what I like about the setting,
or probability.
you've got enough room for hijinks, and you can tweak it.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
As of this point, the playtests I ran, one was I started with a private eye thing. The characters were a demigod prophet, a visionary, which is basically the branch of humanity that's becoming what gods and demons are, and a human herald, which are the magi that use high magic, calling on gods and demons. And the herald means they're basically a trained lawyer for heaven, or social work. And she happened to be human. Her family have been heralds forever. And her goal was eventually to be chosen to at least attempt ascension into a god. And so we had a herald and a demigod whose mother was Morrigan, actually, and a human visionary. So we had we had 2 of the rarest combinations, a prophet and a visionary. Well, a prophet's much more rare than a visionary. And it still worked because you're still just dealing with your characters. And it blew up from a story about a serial killer doing Van Helsing killings into trying to recover a book on how to possibly teach someone how to become undead.
Oh, bugger.
Yeah.
To which they got the physical copy, burned it, and used a magic spell which they got from Yomi, which resulted in the white mage's goddess told her, well, you're going to need to check to make sure there's not other copies of the book. Unfortunately, the spell for that, I don't know anybody I trust that has anything like it in Nirvana, but there's someone I know who's not too terrible in Yomi. And I think you have an ex-boyfriend that is connected that way.
Oh, wow.
No, no.
But yeah, long story short, simple system, very intuitive. Nice little bulk in the characters themselves, but not necessarily too complex from what I can tell.
Right. And what I'm hoping to do is fund the art to make it a lot of the original art. Right now, what I'm going to be doing is doing a lot of out-of-pocket. I got some portraits coming for the pre-gens for the scenario. I would like to have around 20 plus other pieces of art or events or things to sprinkle through the book that I haven't used before.
Yeah, I say that all you really need is just enough advertisement to pull in backers and pledges.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
Yeah, because if it doesn't fund, it's going to look. I'll pay out for the layout. It's going to be a little bit hard on my cash flow for a while. It won't have near as much art as I want. It probably won't look as it won't have as many art as good. It'll still have all the information, but I think
It won't look as polished.
yeah. Because yeah, go on.
And this is the kind of system where I can't say anything negative about it. And what I like about the setting is you could move the timeline and tweak minor details. Like, for instance, just how much is common knowledge about the occult depending on the timeline and all that.
Right. I haven't. All right. Go ahead.
I think you could actually do nearly anything with this kind of a system.
Well, that's what Fate's designed for, and he uses Fate at its best.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And I really think, and honestly, if you stripped out the Divine Blood elements, you could actually make a decent thing just adding Fate Compromise.
Yeah. It's the one thing I've said in the main book is I don't particularly care what system you use. If you have another system you prefer, like Hero System or Besm or something else, fine. Just adapt the setting to that. I created I adapted Fate so I would have at least one system that's pre-made so it's easy to pick up and go.
Yeah. And as for the setting itself, it works as a good slice of life setting. You've got a good potential for hijinks, a lot of room for the GM, and a good set of characters who are unique, if not unique, at least humorously archetypal, with some nice hooks.
And
you've got 3 good plot lines going on, which allows the people to focus on the areas they like.
Yeah.
And all in all, I think the starter adventure could probably be tweaked to just hand out to people and have them run.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I made it for. It was run twice in the QCon in Northern Ireland, as I said. They had 5 players for that. Actually, they had, I think, 2 tables of 5 or 6 players each, running it simultaneously.
Wow.
And I've run it now 3 times.
Well, all I can say is I hope you find everything, and I'm curious, and everything else I'd want to say is more private chat kind of stuff.
Okay, so I'm going to click the I'm going to click the off air button.
One last thing.
What?
The Lordly verdict is 5 out of 5. Thank you.
Cool.
What? I have my own review show. I need a catchphrase.
Okay. Okay, so
I'll admit it's a little on the pretentious side. You might want to tone it down a bit.
Nani?
Hey, we're not on a critic show here.
Oh, mine.
The stop broadcast button has vanished, just like the start broadcast button vanished way back when. So I think the only way I have to end this call, to end the broadcast, is
why don't you try exiting off of all the other things and see if you can just double click or something,
I'll just leave the call.
Yeah,
and
leaving the call.
All I have to say is Craig knows why my thing is pretentious.
Right.
Well, see ya.
See ya.
Bye-bye.
Hashtag approved.